information do you want from the saddle? What do you want? What do you want?
Well, welcome back to the Jubilee Arena here in Stadium in Wanganui. This, of course, is our second part of the Sky Sport Next and Sky Sport 3 introduction to the National Junior and Cadet Championships for 2021. I'll explain that a little bit as we get into the program. We've got a whole bunch of boxing coming up forward to you. It's going to be great. Joining me in commentary is Isaac Savage. Isaac, ready for a big night?
Well, the afternoon was an absolute banger. Fireworks, and here we are for the night show. What a night it's going to be. 13 fights. Lucky 13, as they say. I can't wait to see this unfold.
Well, we've got a great venue. I mean, the organising committee have done it. And let's, while we're at that point, start looking at what we've got. We've got 13 bouts for you, starting with the cadets, the first lot. Now, these guys and girls are only boxing for a minute and a half for the first couple of bouts, and then we're into the 2-minute rounds. And as you see on the schedule now, we've got Isabella Parks and Brooke Miller coming in. Now, they all weigh in around 42 kg. So they're little pocket rockets the whole time.
With the nickname Unbreakable, I wouldn't be calling her a pocket rocket there, Brent. But
no.
Some of these fights today, I mean, I'm looking forward to the Omar Azizi later on down the track. Could be a fourth-time New Zealand champ. We'll soon find out.
He boxed very well in the first part of it. And, of course, we'll head down through the program as well, looking at some of the others. We get up to the junior and, of course, weight divisions ranging from 75 through to 100 kg when we get to the bigger boys, of course. So without further ado, we're going to head down to our ring announcer. This is Danny Jonas to introduce you to the boxers for the first part.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boxers, managers, coaches and spectators. Welcome to session number 5 of the National Junior Cadet Champs for 2021. Please welcome for bout number 1, fighting out of the red corner from Masterton, Brooke Miller. And Brooke's opponent, fighting out of the blue corner from Wanganui, Isabella Parks.
Yeah, Isabella Parks is from Wanganui and trained by Eddie Tofu. And he's, of course, been the main organiser here for the competition.
The Joker, Peter coming in earlier, rolled under the ring and did some press-ups. Can't wait to see this fight unfold. You know, we've seen so much action for the first fight of every single session. Let's see if these two female fighters live up to that.
And, of course, our referee is Ina Schuster, and we'll be having her up in commentary shortly because she's just returned home from being overseas, and she'll be officiating this first bout.
Isabella running out to the ring now to meet Brooke Miller, the Unbreakable, there in the red. Very walk-forward style again here from Brooke Miller coming forward, just throwing Left, right, left hook, straight down the middle, straight down the pipe. No mucking around in this first fight once again.
Well, they've got nothing to lose. They've only got a minute and a half in each one of these. So it's fast and furious. In fact, you'll find that right through the whole 13 bouts that we're going to be showing you here on Sky Sport Next and Sky Sport 3. Hope you're enjoying the coverage already. And as I say, the organising committee have done a wonderful job because it is fast and furious.
Beautiful range here too from Brooke. She's got those long arms. She's keeping Isabella at bay. The Sun to stand more in the pocket now for this first bout of the evening. Big shot there from Brooke. Just rocking the head there of Isabella. I mean, 1.5, there's really no time to feel out. They just got to go for it and see who can put more points on the scoreboard.
Well, this is Brooke's 13th bout, so we'll see how she goes. We don't have the information from Isabella on her fight card.
Well, goes by the nickname Izzy, Wanganui boxing, but she's letting most of her talking go down in the ring here.
Well,
tonight.
She says not to be messed with. I might be small, but I'm powerful.
Wow, does that in itself says a lot as we get ready now for 10 seconds. Very entertaining, explosive first round. Ina Schuster, as you alluded to earlier, will be joining us in the commentary box tonight. Very entertaining first round once again. Judges got their work cut out for them, all 4 of them.
And of course, Ina Schuster is not only refereeing, but she's also a New Zealand champ.
Yeah, it'd be great to have her take on female boxing here in New Zealand, how she sees it overseas as well. Obviously the platform of what this provides for any fighter moving forward to get to a world championship.
Well, we spoke with Steve Hartley, of course, who is the president of Boxing New Zealand, and he was saying that a lot of young women are now getting into it for the anaerobic as well as the training and the discipline that's required to get into a ring.
And speaking of female fighters, we've got an exciting fight on this weekend as well. Troy Garton steps into the ring. She's been overseas at an overseas international training camp. Now she's going to come back to New Zealand to see what she has learnt.
Rob Cook is training in Isabella's corner in the blue.
Once again, another fast and furious start to the round. 1.5, so only 90 seconds. And, they're not even really sticking and moving. They're just standing and banging right here in the middle. Great shots here again from Brooke. Using that long jab, but does get hit from Isabella. Finally fending her off. Straight back in again though, Brooke. Absolutely pressurising, never letting Isabella off the pump with these shots as they grapple. You don't see too much of that too in the amateur rounds. They're mostly keeping busy with the jabs, the footwork and the high work rate. I mean, there's so many shots being thrown, they hardly ever stand in the pocket or, actually clinch and grapple. Very busy round again. Wouldn't like to be judging this one. What about you, Red? You wish you were judging this one?
I'm glad I'm not one of the 4 judges that are doing it, because the punches that are throwing, and many of them are actually scoring. Both girls are using their jab incredibly well. But notice how both trying to dominate the centre of the ring.
Both fighters too, only 42 kilograms. They look a little bit heavier, but it's probably the height here from both these tall, rangy fighters. Brooke Miller there in the red, Isabella there in the blue, finishing out round 2.
She's from Masterton, of course, trained by her dad. She said that's one of the best things about it, because as her trainer, they have that lovely relationship father-daughter, which is great.
Well, hopefully too, he takes a few punches as a bit of a punching bag from time to time, and what better way to train with your,
We might just drop down and see what the corners are actually saying. We'll head down to hear what Brooke Miller's dad's saying to her at the moment. That's Corey.
Pick it up a bit more.
So we can overhear
Even
it.
sometimes shorten the punches. You're still very long all the time. So see when we get
Words of
we are
encouragement.
tight, just those and then push off. Okay?
Have you yourself been in the ring very often?
Not for a wee while now. It's been, but I have had a couple of boxing bouts and kickboxing, and usually what
Do you listen to your corner?
Well, that's the thing. That's what they're usually saying. It's words of encouragement. It's usually quite heated, and it's sometimes a little bit of profanity and yelling. But we're not going to see any of that today.
Family show.
Exactly.
So this is the last minute and a half for our first bout of the evening. This is Brooke Miller up against Isabella Parks. Pretty evenly matched, I would have said.
Whatever was said, it's certainly shaken up the storm here again. Both fighters or boxers have started this fight number 1 of the night session with a lot of explosive shots, punches and bunches. They never seem to take their foot off the gas. Bit of a warning there from Nina. She'll explain a lot of the rules and why she makes the calls she does when she comes and joins us in the commentary box.
Now, a lot of these bouts tonight are finals as well, so the presentation of their medals and certificates will be given immediately afterwards. They were wanting a national championship, and as we mentioned at the opening of the program, this is the 2021 Nationals, because of course COVID had locked us down for so long, and a lot of these boxers couldn't even get into a gym to train, let alone come away to a national. And then the Nationals again will be held at the same venue here in Wanganui in October.
It's a win-win. It's a win-win, isn't it, Bree? I mean, look, like we keep alluding to, it's a chance for somebody to become a double champ in 1 year.
Yeah. So heading down to the final 10 seconds. That was a lovely overhead right by Brooke Miller.
It sure was. She's been using her range the whole entire time. 5 seconds to go. Very busy, very active. There's no time to rest in these 90-second rounds.
Well, I'll tell you, looking at both these girls, I would be saying I'm not putting my money on either, because I think it's because they were just throwing punches, and they weren't haymakers either.
Well, like I said earlier, with every single fight, it's all you have to do is take 10 to 15 seconds from every part of the round, because it's all action. But what I did love there was Brooke Miller's jab. She kept her at range. She used those long, rangy limbs, making it really hard for Izzy or Isabella to get in each time.
Coverage brought to you, of course, on Sky Sport Next and Sky Sport 3. And, of course, being on a Friday afternoon, great chance to look at some absolutely fantastic amateur boxing. So we'll just ensure that the scorecard has come in, and we'll head down to Danny Jonas.
Ladies and gentlemen, looking to make the first presentation of the evening, and like to call to ringside Brenda Ryan, wife of Boxing New Zealand Life member Marty. And Brenda has been attending the New Zealand National Championships for 57 years. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner by unanimous decision in the New Zealand champion for 2021, fighting out of the red corner, Brooke Miller.
Well, there you have it. Victorious and new champion, Brooke Miller. Unbreakable, certainly living up to the name, and well-deserved win.
Isabella Parks looked a little disappointed, but, you know, she gave it her all. You can still say you're the runner-up.
Well, they say, too, it's sometimes harder to get silver than bronze because you're just that close. And what a performance, too, though, from Isabella. Nothing to be ashamed of, if not be proud. She certainly put on a performance.
It's fast and furious here at the Jubilee Stadium here in Wanganui as we get ready to go back down and call our next two, get our next two boxers up. This should be an interesting one. We've got a local lad, sorry, a local, and, well, pretty much they're both, one from Morini and the other from Wanganui.
Well, Morini is not too far, and I did drive through there, so I do know that city very well.
All right, we'll head down to Danny Jonas for the introductions.
And ladies and gentlemen, we move on to bout number 2, the cadet male 70 kg, 3 1.5-minute rounds. Introducing, fighting out of the red corner from Wanganui, Phoenix Apiata Cook. And Phoenix opponent fighting out of the blue corner, all the way from Te Tokyo Maui Boxing Association, Tyson Tatukuturu.
Young Tyson's had 10 bouts, and as I say, he is from Morini out of the silverback boxing. And young Phoenix representing River City Boxing.
Once again, this is a bout between, as you alluded to earlier, Brett, pretty much the same town in a sense. Wanganui, Taumaranui, close enough. Let's see who takes us home at 70 kilos. So we've jumped up a few notches in the belt or weight range here.
Tyson, you can see on the screen at the moment, he does have a slight height advantage, so whether he's going to utilise that reach and have young Phoenix coming in a little bit closer to try and mitigate that extra, probably looks around about maybe 6 inches taller.
Oh, rightly so, and we've seen a lot of that throughout obviously the afternoon and the weekend ahead. A taller versus shorter fighter. The shorter fighter will have to get in the pocket, walk forward, try utilise those short, sharper shots.
Well, Phoenix is saying, look, I can't really hang around.
We've seen a little bit, not too much, but issues with the headgear. It doesn't look like it's affecting the vision, but the strap at the back just seemed like it got a little bit loose.
Yeah, I think he might have felt that he had a bit of a slap around the back of the ear and sort of tried to make that. So we'll bring that to the attention to our referee.
Phoenix has a nickname as well, and I'm surprised you haven't actually said that one out loud yet here, Brett.
Oh, he's called Cuddles.
One of your favourite words or ones of the tournament?
Well, I'll start with that later. I don't think I'd want to go and step in with him. He might only be a little fella.
He wouldn't be giving you cuddles. He wouldn't be giving you cuddles. And look, speaking of cuddles, he does need to get closer. He does need to get inside the range here of Tyson. Tyson being the taller of the fighter, using a beautiful uppercut, jab, he's keeping him at range, making it extremely difficult here for Cuddles or Phoenix to get inside. Another quick round, 90 seconds. It goes just like that, doesn't it, Brent? I mean, you blink and you miss with these 90-second rounds.
Well, it's a minute and a half. So they haven't got the time to actually size out their opponent. They're literally sitting there going, I've got, basically the 1.5, test my ground, see whether I've got the ability to actually do this, and then have his corner turn around and say, look, you're getting in, you're not using your jab well enough, you're not getting that opponent away from you. You need to have that happening. And I think young Phoenix has just decided to try and throw Tyson off his game. Well,
I'm loving it too. We went to that replay earlier. He came forward, crouch, bobbing, weaving, almost Mike Tyson-esque, as he knew he has to get inside that range of Tyson. I mean, Tyson is so much taller. The reach will be such an advantage at keeping Phoenix at bay.
And I'm sure his corner are actually going to be giving him that instruction to say, look, you're doing well on this first one. Let's just see how you go on the second.
Yeah, it'd be good. I know we'll have a mic in there at some point, and it'd be interesting to see what they actually do offer inside in each round. Check out our ref now as we get ready for round 2. Let's see if Phoenix can actually start looping in or ducking under to get underneath that long jab there of Tyson. Tyson's actually throwing it out now, feinting, trying to make him duck so he might throw an uppercut. Good style here from Tyson. He's playing this game beautifully, but does get jabbed there from Phoenix.
The Phoenix came through with that uppercut as well, and now working onto the body and then going up top again. Both have got exceptionally good hand speed.
Well, just when you think Phoenix should be getting the inside, when they do, Tyson gives them a taste of his own medicine. He can play out range and also play out close, which would be slightly...
There's some lovely scoring shots coming in by both boxers, but I think, as you say, Tyson's finally woken up to the fact that he just needs to use that jab, keep him a little bit further.
Tyson's showing beautiful skill that, he can mix it up. He can get in close, but he can stay at range, which would be, absolutely crippling for Phoenix when he comes in, but Phoenix has got the power. Just as he missed there with that right overhand or right hook.
I hope that you're experiencing the sound of the boxing as much as watching it here on Sky Sport Next and Sky Sport 3, because we're some distance away from the boxers themselves, but we can hear some of these punches landing.
We certainly can. I mean, I just looked at the time, the 90 seconds almost gone. Jack jumps in now. He's seen enough. He's going to put a count on. Also remembering these counts do not affect the scorecards. Yes, they might pump up the ego, give you more energy. They don't change what's going on the scores.
So it's purely the scoring shots that they're looking for, but if you watch closely, they're quite happy to actually work the head, come back to the body, and both boxers have scored, I think, reasonably well, although I'm no judge and I don't know totally, but I've been proven wrong more than once.
Well, you've been on a good roll so far. I mean, go back to that replay. It's almost like a mimic of each fighter. Yeah, Tyson threw a combo, or Phoenix vice versa, and he threw the same one back. Tyson just showing once again how he can mix it up. Frightening style, because usually a boxer will just stay with one. Tyson can mix it up.
So they're being asked for seconds out as we get into our third and final. 1.5 minutes to prove yourself and make yourself the New Zealand champion for 2021. This is a cadet male.
As they say, the money round. I mean, Tyson's been coming forward, been very aggressive. But Phoenix, he's having to work for it. He's coming in the inside. It's just such an impossible style to break, though, the way Tyson's boxing here tonight. Even holding the guard a bit low now as he gains a bit of confidence, throws that overhand right. I mean, just the reach advantage in itself is helping Tyson. Beautiful uppercut there as he gets a bit more comfortable now on the back foot.
Both these boys weighed in at 70 kg.
You can tell Tyson's getting quite comfortable too as he steps back and throws a shot, which Phoenix is walking into. Big shots again from Tyson. 30 seconds to go. He's putting the heat on.
Crowd starting to get vocal as well, of course, but probably because both these boys have met each other at different grades.
Big shots from Tyson. Wants to close this out. Doesn't want to go to the distance. I mean, the heart, the grit, the chin here on Phoenix.
He's taken a couple of flush, but again.
I mean, if I wanted anyone on my corner, it would be Phoenix, because the man just won't go down.
I think it's going to be one of those bouts, but I think congratulations to both the young boxers. The crowd got very vocal behind it, as I said.
I mean, they talk about some fights being worth the door price alone. I mean, this is only fight 2 of the night, and it's looking like a contender of fight of the night. Big shots here from Tyson.
And of course, they head back to their corners, and we've got a special guest about to join us too.
We sure do. Ina Schuster, former fighter, now referee, judge. The list goes on. Welcome along tonight, Ina.
Hang on a minute, do that again, that's better. Try that.
Hi,
how are you?
Thanks for having me. Good to see you both.
We are. We're looking
like
forward.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it has, hasn't it? We'll have a chat with you once we find out where this bout actually goes.
Not even going to try to call it.
We'll have somebody expert giving us some help, especially on the how the game goes. So we'll head back down to our ring announcer, Danny Jonas.
Ladies and gentlemen, making the next presentation is Mr. Jim Comp, past president of the Wanganui Boxing Association, past executive member of Boxing New Zealand, and still a local referee and judge here in Wanganui. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner by unanimous decision, and the New Zealand champ for 2022, fighting out of the blue corner, Tyson Tatukuturu.
There you have it. Tyson takes away the win. Silverback Morini. What a win. Well deserved.
Oh, absolutely. But I thought both boxers handled themselves exceptionally well. As I say, they're only 70 kg. Well, only 70 kg for young fellas, but exceptionally well done. So before we get our next two boxers in, we'll sort of give you an update. We have a total of another 11 bouts to go. These step up now. They go to 2 3-minute rounds. So we'll look forward to that. If we get a chance, we'll, as I say, Schuster is with us in the commentary, not only a referee, but Ina, nice to have you back.
Hey.
You've just got back from overseas.
I did.
Yeah, where were we?
I went to the Thailand Open International, formerly known as the Thailand Kings Cup, and it's a big tournament in Southeast Asia, and about 13 nations attended,
and you were
including New Zealand.
You were refereeing as well?
I was.
Oh, awesome. We'll get more details on how the judging goes, because, as I said, I'm about a 50-50 mix at the moment. So what we'll do now is head back down to Danny, and he can introduce our next bout.
Boxers ringside, please. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move on to bout number 3, the final of the junior female 57 kg, 3 2-minute rounds. And introducing first, fighting from East Coast, Tyler Parkinson. And Tyler's opponent fighting out of the blue corner from Hawke's Bay, Renee Duel.
Now, have you reffed any of these girls before?
No, I haven't. Actually, I was just looking at the names there. They look like the 2 up-and-coming from their areas, but I'm just looking at the list, and as we've got 3 junior females, good to see. So there was a lot of work, actually, to getting these 3 finals through. So it's good to see that for the foundation for the youth female, as we only had 1 youth female nomination. So these girls are the future of women's boxing.
Well, Renee's only 15 years of age, so she's a young one.
Great.
It's good too to see the females, and I mean, you've paved a way for some of the female fighters out there. How does it make you, obviously commentating, judging, reffing, to see these female fighters come up?
I love it, honestly. If I could, I just love seeing the females involved in boxing, the officiating, coaching. Come from the East Coast as well there, so I love seeing it, and to see these up and coming girls, and their skill level is great, so it means a lot for our future in women's boxing.
How do we fare up to against the overseas comp? Would you say too, when you were over there, that we are same playing field, a little bit at a disadvantage? Where are we at in terms of the global?
On a global level, from what I saw in Thailand, we can be up there. We're still developing. So this is where we need to invest into girls such as these, and they can compete on the world level just as much as anyone else. So already you can see,
well, young
skills from
Renee,
these girls.
She's got a slight height advantage. She definitely appears to have a bit of a longer reach as well.
Yes, and good movement, good footwork, getting yourself in position to throw your punches, to move out of the way.
And she's not standing front on either, so she's limiting that target zone.
There we go,
Doing a good job to keep her at bay. That's what we've seen with a lot of taller fighters, and Renee doing a great job keeping Taylor at bay.
Yes. Good long reach. So Red needs to get in there just like that, kind of spoil the range of the blue boxer.
We saw that too in the earlier fight, though. With the shorter fighter, they have to get in the pocket. But what happens when they do get in the pocket and the taller fighter just plays their own game back? Isn't that an absolute nightmare for the shorter fighter?
It is, but it just shows once you're in there, you've got to do something about it and really use that advantage. Because in a second it can be gone, like you said, and then you've got to rework your way back in. And you can see, she got a good one there, return back. But once you're in that pocket, you really got to use that advantage.
Can you also, too, explain that qualification or the new ranking you got overseas or recently obtained? What that means in terms of judging or reffing?
I think with this tournament, it just meant I got a lot more experience on an international level. There were 3-star refereeing judges there, the evaluator. It's also the evaluator of the Women's World Champs coming up next month. So I just gained a really valuable insight into how officiating is, what's happening overseas, the rules, keeping up with the play, and I really want to come home and encourage more referees and judges to, also be a part of this. And so the more the better we have in New Zealand, just means we can, more knowledge we can pass on to our boxers and coaches. And
we certainly punch above our weight. Look at Giovanna Perez, WBO champ. We've got Troy Garton. We've got Mia Motu fighting soon. The list goes on. And the female fighters, they're just growing and getting more experience. Week on week, month on month, year on year.
Yes, they are. So we've got a selection of elite females finals tomorrow, which will be amazing to watch. I'm looking forward to that. But this is where it all starts here. The youth, cadets, just bringing them up from grassroots level.
Well, Tyler Parkinson, of course, from the East Coast. It's a big shout out to all her family and friends. She's a prefect at Gisborne Girls High School, so I'm sure even though they might be on school holiday, they'll be here to encourage Tyler, that's for sure. And
it's another level being a boxer while you're still at school. I mean, I was one, and so big ups to these kids coming from school, and
one minute you're in home ec, or maths class, and the next day, you're doing rounds or taking leather to the face. I mean, it's a pretty hard one to deal with, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. What do they used to say? Something about not turning your homework in. The teacher's probably going to say, "Oh, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it."
Hey, I just won the golden gloves. Now, hey, I've heard that excuse before.
No, it's amazing discipline. And your coaches are sort of setting you on the right path and into future. So it's a different ball game when you're juggling school life with boxing to when you're in adult boxing. It's very, in that transition, which is where, we want to try and keep some boxers as well, like keep them interested when they transition into the elite level.
Well, hat off and kudos to these young female fighters, because you're right, they're at school, obviously educating and learning, and then getting in here and doing one of the hardest, most brutal sports in the world.
Sure is, yes.
So both these girls now, I suppose when we look at round number 3, when we get into it, could you give us a little bit more of an insight? Because we've got 4 judges each part of the ring.
We've got 5.
5, sorry.
Yeah.
And then you're also looking at it differently, because what you may see, someone on the other side doesn't see.
Yes, so you're scoring, first and foremost, the quantity of quality blows to the target area. So no matter where you're sitting on that ring side, that is your number 1 judging criteria. And you must see the blow land, and it can't be obstructed by any part of the glove, the arm. So it's got to be a good, clear shot. So whoever's scoring the most is going to be the winner.
Well, Renee Doyle, right at the last second, got a nice... They're both using their combinations really well.
They are, and they've both got different strengths, and yes, they're using it, as you can see there. Good clear blows landed.
The way you explained it, just made it sound so simple. Yet sometimes we watch a fight and we think, hang on a minute, what way did that go? What fight were they watching?
And let's give credit to our camera crew. I mean, we've got cameras scattered around the ring. We're getting to see pretty much the whole fight in close detail. But
I just can't stress enough how different it is to see a fight in person to on a screen. That's all I'm going to say. It can be a totally different experience.
Well, if you are here in Wanganui, you can, and watching it here on Sky Sport Next and Sky Sport 3, if you've got some time tomorrow, we're going to be back here again at 1 o'clock and again at 5 o'clock. But if you're anywhere else in the country, of course, this coverage is being brought to you. We hope you're enjoying it as much as we are here in the stadium as we get into our 3rd and final round.
Well, the money round, as they say, and it's been a very consistent, busy bout from both these female fighters. I mean, the longer, rangier fighter, Renee, has been using her footwork and jab very effectively, making it hard, once again, for the shorter fighter to get inside.
Nice jab there.
Tyler is really trying to control the centre of the ring. She is focused on that, trying to back up Renee back into the ropes. But I think that range that she's got with that jab just keeps
her at bay there, doesn't it?
Parry there from Tyler as she walks forward now. I mean, great style, doing her best to break down Renee, but as you know, and you've been in there, you've judged and fights, but it's so hard at times to break down that taller, rangier fighter. It
is. You've really, especially when the taller fighter knows how to use their jab, knows how to use their footwork to move it out of the way as soon as you try and come in. It can be, in my experience, I just find it a lot harder when that shorter fighter's just coming at me, making me work. So I think what Tyler needs to do is just keep persevering with going forward, trying to spoil her style a bit more. That's what you do with a taller fighter, try and cut their range like that. Some overhands, some left hooks.
Great composure though, comes forward, just got jabbed there, but not afraid to walk forward and mix it up here with Renee.
No, and I like the style of these girls, they're nice and tidy, straight punches, hands up, everything's going really well. They're going to have really good futures ahead of both of them. They choose to keep this up.
10 seconds now.
As I say, leave nothing in the ring. Get rid of it. Right, we're going to put you on the spot now.
Okay.
Who do you think?
I thought you were going to ask when she's jumping in again.
I don't know what
here we go.
question to expect there.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go with blue. I'm choosing the taller fighter, Renee.
Yeah.
Hey, take nothing like Tyler though. I mean, she put on a great
excellent.
display.
Excellent display of boxing by both. So congratulations, both girls.
And this is what we want to see. This is where, you know, future champions are made, Hall of Famers, from at this sort of grassroots amateur level.
And the fact that more young women are getting into it, not just for the anaerobic side of things, but the camaraderie as well. So we'll head down the announcement from Danny Jonas.
To make the next presentation, Mr. Graham Smith to ringside, please.
So our next bout up is going to be 60 kg.
While Graham makes his entrance to the ringside, Graham's been a supporter for over 55 years of boxing. He had 20 amateur bouts, and then Graham went on to become a pro and won the New Zealand welterweight professional title. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision, and the winner and the New Zealand champion for 2021, fighting out of the blue corner, Renee Duel.
There you have it, Renee. Well deserved. Once again, taking this home, Renee the champ.
Oh, and you know, you got it. I mean, can't argue.
No.
So with your refereeing and getting involved to this level,
Yes.
is the international qualification requirement now close enough to get you to the Commonwealth Games?
Not quite. I still have to sit the level 2 and then on to level 3. The only thing that's happening is IAB is in a bit of limbo at the moment. So anything happening is all happening in Europe and kind of 50-50. So we'll get there one day. So I'm just going to keep going.
Still young enough.
But thank you for having me
Oh,
on.
no, don't go away. We're going to
No?
hold you up for
Okay.
for one more if we can, because there's a couple of other questions I've still
Great.
got
Oh,
pending.
no. Wait, I have to judge this one.
Oh, do you?
I can come back.
Okay, well, she's got
I've got my list.
We've got to go.
Yeah.
I'll let you run.
Okay. I'll come back.
But thank you so much. It's Ina Schuster, referee extraordinaire. So we'll head back down.
I suppose it's quite important if she does go and judge that one.
Oh,
right?
absolutely. We'll head down to... Might hear a little bit of noise out of this because it's a local Wanganui boxer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the final of bout number 4 for the evening. The junior female, 60 kg, 3 2-minute rounds. Introducing, fighting out of the red corner from Auckland, Giovanna Chanel May Ratna. And her opponent fighting out of the blue corner from Wanganui, Tikahui Spittle Rahina.
So good too to have Ina in the house before commentating and giving us an insight to, you know, what's happening with her qualifications, but also to the female aspect of boxing in New Zealand and around the world.
Both these fighters are coming in right on 60 kg. Young fighter in the blue has asked us if we just refer to her as TK. So we'll be respectful of that.
TK2, as you said, River City Boxing Club crowd favourite at Giovanna. Out of Nabby's, always a popular gym as well. Giovanna in the red and TK there in the blue, the crowd favourite, or hometown hero as I would say, heroine.
This should be quite close because both of these boxers have only fought 4 fights. So, you know, their ring experience is probably the same, but TK seems to be the more aggressive in the opening soiree.
And the back and forth, the speed, the velocity that TK's throwing. She's in and out super quick. I mean, she is the Energizer Bunny here with that speed and power. Beautiful jabs, they can move out the way. I mean, I haven't seen a boxer with this much speed the entire day.
You know, these girls are just over 5 foot tall, so you sort of get a comparison when you look at the ring when they get up close enough to the ropes. You'll see the size of these girls, but boy, they are not scared.
Well, only 90 seconds. We are approaching the 1 minute mark now, and there's just no time to muck around. You've got to get in, get out, put the scores on doors as they're doing. And I mean, TK just hasn't taken her foot off the pedal. It's full flat red lining from the get-go.
That bob and weave too. It's almost like a fake that she's about to throw, but she just bails back.
So she'll feint, she'll slip, she'll throw the javelin, a hook. So it's making Giovanna move one way, and then she'll come over with a hook. Great observation there, and for those watching back home too, certainly an entertaining fight. One for the purists is, you know, we've got a bit of a boxer. Wouldn't say a brawler, but the fast, wild style here from TK is exciting, and it's very, very challenging here for the fighter in red, Giovanna.
I think Giovanna's starting to get the measure of it and saying, well, look, I'm going to score, and she's pushing it back really nicely and scoring very, very well. TK's got to be careful that she doesn't blow out all the steam.
Well, just as Ina discussed earlier, the scoring ratio, or how it's actually, one is connected shots in the target area. And speaking of that, Giovanna did land a few in the target area at the closing bout, well, closing minute. Especially
in that highlight there, you'll see that she probably took or connected with 5 very, very good scoring shots.
Giovanna there in the red, out of Nabbies. TK in the blue.
We might just sneak down and see whether we can hear what the... So seconds are being called out. We was trying to sort of pick up a little bit of what the corner was saying to to one of the boxers.
Interesting enough too, TK's corner, they're saying throw more combos. I mean, the combos that TK's thrown so far have been pretty explosive, so goodness knows what's going to come out now as she's been instructed to throw even more combos. I mean, the speed once again from TK, you know, she's throwing 4 straightforward punch combos, which is making it very difficult here for Giovanna.
Crowd is starting to get a little bit more vocal.
TK certainly listened to her coach. There she comes forward now. I mean, throwing 4 to 6 punch combos in and out, just rocking the headgear back there of Giovanna.
I'm just wondering whether TK's fuel tank started to get a little bit sink.
Well, look at Giovanna coming forward now.
Yeah.
Starting to play TK at her own game. Not going to put it up no longer. And you rightly said, Brett, the gas tank could be getting a bit low there on TK.
Yeah, well, I was just watching Giovanna, of course, mouth open, which is not a good thing with that mouth guard because it only takes one slip and that mouth guard's going to fly. But I think that she's definitely getting the better of TK.
Hooks, punches and punches. Yeah. Giovanna coming forward. Starting to steal this round back.
Notice the hands too started to drop with TK. She's not able to keep that guard up. Swing and a miss. Although she connected with that left over.
I mean, this is a game of 3 halves, as they say. And look, you could say that blue is up. Now red's up. It does really go down to the third round.
Yeah, but if you also look at TK, her legs are starting to go as well. She's not up on those toes. She's not...
Big shots here from Giovanna. This is what we love to see. Them push to their limits. Who wants this more? Who wants to take home the medal, the strap, the accolades?
Yeah, well, I have to say, I absolutely feel that Giovanna took that round out.
But this is what we want to see. We want to see one person win the first round, one person win the second, and it going down to the third and final.
You're hurting her. Step up on it.
That's all right. Just keep doing what you're doing. Even now and then, jab, right uppercut, straight right. 1, 2, drop the right uppercut. That was good. 2 degrees.
Start getting that.
Both corners getting their instructions.
You've got to push. The minute you drop off,
Last 2 minutes. Let's go, bro.
So there you have it from their corners, giving them their final instructions for the last minute and a half.
Beautifully set to there from Nabby's.
Required. Yeah.
Jab, uppercut, straight right. Let's see if she throws that combo. Jab, uppercut, straight right. We heard that very clearly there. Nabby's out of the red corner for Giovanna, sorry, let's see if she takes that advice on board. I mean, easier said than done. Easy for us to say, throw to your full. These female warriors have gone through it for 2 rounds prior.
I thought that TK, just in that last part of that second round, she was starting to tire, but she's definitely got another burst of energy from her corner, from Rob Cook, to say, come on, this ain't over yet.
Well, Washina was up here now to say who won this one, because she was, very smitten with her last call, but would she call this one right, Brett?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but our referee's watching this one closely as well, because TK seems to be tiring. She's flat-footed at the moment. When she steps back, you can almost see her going, how much longer have I got to go? Well, you got just on a minute.
And that minute will seem like an eternity. Yeah, but this is where they have to dig deep, find the grit. Why are they doing this? All those rounds in the gym is where it's going to really pay dividends, and who's going to dig deeper to take this home.
I'm just concerned the guard. She's got to keep that guard up, otherwise she's going to start wearing a couple more in the last 40-odd seconds.
Yeah, the guard has dropped, and rightly so. I mean, they've been thrown from the get-go. The volume of punches is almost uncountable.
We mentioned it earlier, of course, a lot of these boxers haven't had a chance to actually be in the ring with another opponent. Now, that was just purely a slip.
I mean, the crowd getting vocal. It's almost like Canterbury are back in the house. The noise that the Wanganui supporters are cheering on here for TK. They're in the blue, Giovanna in the red.
So she knows this is it. Put her up on the ropes.
Big shot there to finish the round for TK. And for those watching back home, I bet they're loving all the action here. Sky Sport Next. What a fight that was, Brent.
Absolutely. Right through to the final 10 seconds. And, of course, it always is the last 10-second flurry that these boxers think, this is my chance. Again, these are for national titles here at the Jubilee Stadium at Wanganui. I'm Brent Perry. Joining me in commentary is Isaac Savage.
What a fight night it's been.
Crowd building up as well in the stadium.
While we wait for the results, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for these 2 young ladies. Great fight.
Just looked over my shoulder to see that the scorecard is in, so it may be a little closer than what we thought.
Making presentations for this bout is Mr. Bob Walker, past Vice President of Boxing New Zealand, current member of the New Zealand Referee and Judges Association, has been a judge for over 35 years and has been a coach for 20 plus years. Welcome, Bob. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have a winner by unanimous decision and New Zealand champion for 2021, fighting out of the red corner, Giovanna Chanel May Ratna.
Well, there you have it. Giovanna takes away the win. Does her Jim proud, and what a performance that was.
Yeah, I just felt that she had the betterment of TK in that halfway through the second round, and then before she got into that third round, and literally the gas tank was empty, or pretty close to it.
Oh, look. Both gas tanks could have been empty. The volume of punches that these 2 warriors were throwing here tonight.
So we are stepping up slightly in the weight division. going up to the junior female of 70 kg. Both orthodox in style. So we'll head down to Danny Jonas to introduce us to our next two boxers.
Boxers to the ringside, please.
So we're just waiting for the boxers to be introduced. Remember, we'll be back on air tomorrow at 1 o'clock for our first session, and again at 5 o'clock on Sky Sport Next and Sky Sport 3. Sorry, down to Danny.
Ladies and gentlemen, we move on to bout number 5, the junior female 70 kg, 3 2-minute rounds. Introducing first from Auckland, fighting out of the red corner, Talia Kuritz. And Talia's opponent fighting out of the blue corner from Tatukuturu Māori Boxing Association, Nika Perez.
And a little bit of vocal support, and we've been joined back in the commentary with Ina. Now listen, did you pick the last one?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Yes.
You were just saying that.
And now I'm back with you fabulous too.
Hey, what a fight that was, that last one. I mean, you know, from the get-go, they threw.
They did, didn't they? Right to the end.
Well, this
Love
one
to see.
is going to be interesting because Talia has only had 4 bouts and her opponent 37.
Yes, I have seen Nika Perez around. And of course, mother Amy down there that helps tremendously in boxing all across New Zealand. Talia, I actually haven't seen her fight, so yes, will be very interesting. Sure, it'll be great.
Stepping up again, 2, up to 70. Going to see a bit more power in these shots. What we've had too, Ina, is the camera mics in the background for both fighters. Can you explain how much is actually going in, or can you understand when you're actually in that corner in between rounds?
Sometimes. You've got a minute, so I mean, as you get more experience, you're able to listen and breathe and recover. But I think for the more inexperienced boxers, you're sort of only able to take a couple of things in, and that's up to the coaches to really try and communicate the most important 1 or 2 aspects they need to work on for the next round.
Being from Auckland too, there's a couple of vocal coaches, you know, Vasco, Isaac Peach. But, you know, even if you don't want to listen, you can actually hear them from outside.
And I
the
can
ring.
hear them whilst judging and refereeing, yes. I think just like I said, the problem with that, well, if they're yelling constantly, what's really getting through, you know? You kind of want to communicate those 1 or 2 important things to your boxer, because they can't take everything in.
Speaking of the action at hand, I mean, you said that you didn't know who Talia was, but some of these body shots, we're going to find out who she is very, very soon. You know, she's finding those opportunities. Yes, Nika's working forward, but Talia's finding those body shots to land.
And she's throwing, and just to even throw one of those punches, to throw a body shot, uppercut, really takes some skill and some, you know, confidence to do that. So it's awesome to see. And again, these are junior females, so the future of women's boxing coming through. And for Nika to have, what did you say, 37 bouts?
Yes, she's had 37.
That's awesome in female boxing in New Zealand.
That's incredible. But, you know, as you know, nothing beats the rush, right? You can jump out of a plane, you can jump on a motorbike, but having just that one bout will give you a rush like none other.
You would know AIZ, and it just never goes away. I've considered it for a split second.
Well, they're in your weight category. They're in your weight category. That's why you're probably watching this one with a little bit of extra care.
It excites me, you know. I do. I see it, and it kind of reminds me of my old self a little bit, and I just get really excited.
Do you still train yourself?
It's been a wee while, but I was training up until, you know, a couple of years ago. I had exhibition, and yeah, like I said, it just never goes away, and it's just kind of the body that lets you down a little bit, I think.
Remember when Ina did fight in Auckland, the leopard shorts?
Half
of Auckland came out for that one, Brent.
Just for the shorts?
Oh, no, because of who you are and how well known you are in the scene.
It. I wouldn't rule out one more, you know?
Never say never.
No.
You have it, New Zealand. Shots fired. Ina Schuster. She's made a call.
Be a wee while.
Yeah, it looks reasonably even when looking at the scorecard that just came up on the bottom of the screen.
What did you see there, Brent?
Well, they're pretty much even. So
okay.
it could be getting into... I thought that Talia did exceptionally well. Started to tire a little bit near the end, but that she's using that slight advantage in her reach, just a little bit.
She's got the height of reach, hasn't she? But Nika's experience see her through these next 2 rounds. It'll be interesting to see.
Oh. Talia just walks forward. She's fearless. She may have less experience, but she's making up for it in her guts and glory as she comes forward.
I think she took some confidence from that first round. Nika really has to stand her some authority now and just push back, get these combos going, really stamp, her authority, and a good hard right hand.
That's the thing. You can be quite nervous prior, but once you get in there and you take that first shot, it all goes away.
That's
especially
exactly right.
if it doesn't hurt. But if it does, well, it's a different story.
Yeah, if it hurts, you go, what am I doing here again?
The reason I say I was talking to Nigel Elliott earlier and his daughter Saskia, she's been nervous, put on a great performance, and Nigel's actually jumping in the ring again soon as well.
Is he really?
Mid-40s. Yeah, Nigel Elliott, all the way from Tatukuturu, is jumping in.
Oh, there's hope for all of us then.
Don't look at me.
I'm looking at you.
45 seconds to go. What a war this is. What I love about this bout too, Talia's had 4 bouts, Nika's had 37, but Talia's holding her own. She's not letting that experience dwarf anything here tonight in this performance.
And that's the thing about nationals. You just give it a go. Honestly, what have you got to lose?
Well, she's working a jab nicely as well, and
nice.
it's getting clipped every now and again, but...
And Nika there's the southpaw, so she's getting those, let's get some more left-hand shots right down the middle.
Just as we say that though, Nika's starting to have more shots.
Yes, she's finding a home for those nice straight 1-2s. Talia's just got to get it together a little bit, keep it tidy, guard up.
I guess too, that's what the experience can do is, you weather those shots, you know what it's like, whereas if you've had a couple of fights, getting punched, it's not something you ever get used to, but you can weather it more if you've been in there a few times.
That's right. Get through that first round and you just find that experience boxes coming through in the second and third, like you may have seen in that last female fight. Once the tiredness kicks in, it really comes down to experience in your ring craft just to get through that, especially the last final sort of minute of every round.
Yeah, because the legs are starting to go, your breathing has increased, and you're going,
what am I doing
here? What am I doing here? But both girls have held the ground really well. As I say, Talia, I think, has done exceedingly well up against a much more experienced fighter. But it's whether or not now this next 2 minutes is going to be the telling answer.
And it can be a very long 2 minutes.
Yes. To me, I think that was a blue round, that second round. Not sure what my fellow judges saw the first 2, but I think this round will really seal the deal on either fighter.
It's a hard thing to... Brent and I have watched some fights this afternoon and tonight, and we just thought, we're glad we're up here and not down there, because sometimes it's just too hard to call. But that's why like you see, there's 5 judges. That's
right. So you got the 5 scores, and majority will win. So 4-1, 5-0, 3-2.
4 sides though. Where's the 5th sitting?
Right next to the supervisor. So you got 2 on one side as well.
Got Tor in there as ref as well, very experienced ref. We've got the best of the best here for the amateur champs.
Yeah,
here in Wanganui.
We've got an amazing group of refereeing judges. This nationals, a mix of young and a little bit not so young. But from them we draw so much of their knowledge and experience, and we all come together really well, and we're all helping and supporting each other, and want to see one another succeed. So
I'll tell Paul McSherry and Jack that you said that.
Hey, they fall into the young category.
Big shots here from both warriors. This is once again every single female fight has been all guns blazing. What a performance from every single female fighter. Beautiful body shots again there from Talia.
Yep, so this will be it. We've got to really grip the teeth and just push through.
Guard slightly dropping there.
Nice.
But Nika coming forward.
Yep.
Crowd being very, very vocal, as well as both these young ladies know that with 10 seconds to go, this is it.
Yeah.
This is a national championship right now.
That's it. Give it 8.
Nika certainly heard that clapper. Comes forward now into the round.
Oh, that was a great fight. And the crowd really does push you. Once you're in that ring and you hear that crowd support, it makes a world of difference.
Well, we saw that with a couple of the Canterbury fighters, even the hometown fighter before. Once that crowd gets going, it really does off-spill onto the fighter.
It does. You hear them. You feel the energy. Use it.
I think this is I'm going to go blue.
Okay.
There you go.
Nice.
I
There you
think
go.
blue, but I'm not going to say it was one-sided. That's what I've...
No, it was a great fight.
So where does that leave you in this one, Ina?
I think I also go blue. But congratulations to Red. She put up a good fight against Nico, but I think...
Well, the scorecard's in,
Red.
so we'll find out. Let's go down to Danny Jonas.
Please, to the ringside, we have the next presentation. Kim Lawby. While Kim makes her way, Kim is the head coach of the East Coast Association. She is the 3 times New Zealand national champion and, of course, a former New Zealand representative. Another great fight, ladies and gentlemen, and we do have a decision. The winner by split decision and the New Zealand champion for 2021, fighting out of the blue corner, Nika Perez.
Well done to Nika. What were you saying?
No, I said well done.
We picked
Good
it.
call, we picked it.
I noticed that Isaac doesn't actually jump in and give his
That's
opinion.
me a fence sitter.
Yeah, he just...
Hey.
Yeah.
I've actually had a few
He goes for
messages
both.
like that. People saying, get off the fence. But hey, I'll leave it to the
Right
experts.
on the fence. Well, I'm going to love you and leave you. I've got to go back to my judging role.
Good on you, and thanks again for your everything you guys do for the boxing and
No, thank
the
you.
organisation. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Great commentary. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks, Ina.
Bye.
Yeah, so having an expert like that helps, because you're constantly learning. And as she was saying, she goes and travels. They've got workshops that they have to attend. So yeah, that's how it goes. So we'll head down for our next bout and ask Danny Jonas to introduce the boxers to us.
Officials and boxers to ringside, please.
So while we've just got a little bit of a break before these boxers turn up, huge thank you and congratulations to the organising committee who have been sort of working so hard on presenting this tournament. It's been a tough year on everyone, I think, with the COVID. So let's head down to Danny and he'll introduce us to our next 2 boxers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the boxing just keeps getting better. Here we go. Bout number 6. Junior men's 54 kgs, 3 2-minute rounds. And fighting out of the red corner from Hawke's Bay, please welcome Jet Varco. And Jet's opponent from Central North Island, fighting out of the blue corner, Carly Proctor.
Carly Proctor has had 19 bouts. Jet Varco 24, and I remember Jet from a couple of years ago in Porirua. He was an exciting little boxer, and he's just come up a slight division in weight.
Oh, he was exciting, and he's explosive from a great gym as well, Hastings Giants, always bringing the heat. So looking forward to him come out today. 24 bouts. He's certainly got a few, notches under the belt, a few feathers in the cap.
Big shout out to his mum and dad. Young Jet Varco from Lindisfarne College. These kids sort of keep themselves busy. He also loves his hockey and tennis. So we get underway.
Jet Varco there in the red, the Matrix. Carly Proctor in the blue.
You watch this kid, he is just non-stop.
You can already see the speed and beautiful finesse here from Jet Varco. The in and out, beautiful speed as he comes forward now. Just getting ready to pounce like a jack in the box.
And young Proctor who loves his nickname being the Matrix. See how he handles someone who keeps coming forward.
I mean, the Jet, he's as quick as a Jet. The way he comes out, he's pouncing. And you're right, he did have, or has had such great performances in the past. Let's see him live up to that tonight.
Yeah, both these boys are pretty evenly matched with 24 bouts to Jet and 19 to young Carlo.
Loving the parry there too, there from Jet. You know, look, he's looking very confident in this bout here tonight. It's always interesting too when you see a boxer have a bit more of a wider guard range like that. They're confident in deflecting and parrying the shots. Like he's in great movement, you know. Any time that Kalai comes in, he'll move out the way and throw a counter shot. It's just something that comes with experience, but also a natural ability to be able to read what's going on in the ring. Just a slight edge quicker than Kalai. He meets him or he gets out of the way before the shot comes.
Yeah, Jet just connected with a nice overhand right. Again, we talk about it. Some of these boxers, you know, they have their guard down, as you see it, and bring it up at the last minute, but it does leave them exposed for that split second where that punch can actually come over the top and score.
Well, that's at times too where you see a lower guard because they're relying on their speed, and he's got the confidence to. You see, Jet does have a lower guard, but he's in and out, and he steps to the right or left after each shot. He's so quick. And it's just something you're born with. It's so hard to improve your speed like that. Held the shot out and then threw another. I mean, beautiful display here, boxing from Jet.
Again, these boys both weighed in at 54 kg.
Switching between the two is
Just on the screen now is young Jet Varco.
the strengths are working. Just a bit of bullpen. Go again. He's not as strong as I thought he was going to be. Not strong. Okay, so keep speeding, defense up, drive that jab into the body, and then come over the top. I want to go low and hard, high and low. Okay? Give him that stab and change it up.
So both boxers have been given instructions by their corners. Nice to have the ability to eavesdrop on what they're being told. Both these boys getting the instruction.
We talked about it earlier too, right? You could be nervous before you get in, but once you feel the power, and if it's not as what you expected, just as that coach said, he said, look, he's not as strong as you thought. Keep speedy. And he's doing exactly that. You know, it's such a confidence booster between rounds when you hear that from your coach.
Just looking for that slide opening.
I mean, he's all over him. He's swarming him. Jet Varco, I mean, he never lets his foot off the gas in this fight here tonight.
As I say, when we saw him in Porirua a couple of years ago at the Nationals, he was very impressive then with his not only his hand speed but his foot speed, being able to actually get in and out again without getting clocked.
Oh, absolutely skilled and beautiful power speed. This is where you see it's a sweet science. It's not just throwing punches. It's using the footwork, deflecting, and being quite skillful with the way you move around the ring to get out of those shots.
But in saying that, young Proctor, he was through a number of good combination body shots down to young Jet. He just wore one flush on the chin then.
What we see happen too, as you spoke earlier about Bren, is they can wear out the gas tank, they can run the battery flat. Let's see if Jet is actually risking that in this bout. Coming forward again, absolutely relentless Jet here. Both boys meeting in the middle of the ring. It was Rocky Apollo-esque with both the double shots there.
And that was two very nice overhand rights connected flush both times.
I mean, Jet Varco, still a young gun. I can't imagine what he's going to be like in a few years' time if he's throwing like this now.
Referee telling him to keep his head up. Watch the action now go into 10 seconds.
I mean, there's only one way to describe this fight. It's just fast and furious. Their foot's never off the gas. It's a drag race the whole entire fight. Can they keep up this pace for round 3?
You get the feeling after just watching that little hand shake or slap as they were just heading out. You see a little fist pump coming out of Jet Varco, and I think he's got a feeling he's got the better of him.
You got to love the confidence, and you got to have that from the get-go, from the beginning. I mean, we saw it early in the fight with the lightweights. I think they were 42, 44. The man came in dancing. and he's setting the I guess the morale, confidence boost from the get-go, and Jet looks like he's in control.
So stay clean on your punches. Straight, switching between the two. It'll open up all the doors you want. Yep. Got it?
Yep. There was your all cards.
Show up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? We don't give up.
Oh, yeah.
Moving around after the deep breath.
So you can see by the scorecards that all the refs, judges are leaning towards Jet Varco. They literally basically gave him, all of them, a win.
I felt a bit pumped from that corner speech just then. We don't show up, we don't give up, we show up. And then Jet Varco even made a noise back. I mean, if that's not going to build the confidence from the corner, I don't know what is, but he just got rocked there from a shot from Kalai. I mean, he's got to bring it home. Yes, he might be up on the scorecards, but it doesn't mean the battery isn't running flat, and one shot can change it all. As we're seeing Proctor come forward now, starting to own this round with more aggression.
Exactly, and he moved just that nice bit away, and then as soon as he saw the opening with Jet just taking a backward, he came forward very, very quickly, so there was no hesitation.
Kalai too is switch hitter, so it makes it always a little bit harder there for the Orthodox, so they can go between Southpaw Orthodox. And I did see him jabbing, throwing a leaping left. I mean, it's not something that you lead with, but if you land it, it can cause a bit of damage. And that's the beauty of a switch hitter. They'll throw things like that, a looping left hand, leading left hand. It's not quite orthodox, but that's why he's a switch hitter. Trying to feint there now, trying to fool Jet Varco as he comes forward. But Jet Varco, he doesn't suffer fools as he comes forward now with this relentless style. Slow down just so slightly. Big shot there from Jet Varco.
That was a massive right. But he's not hitting the panic button. He realises that he's probably got the bout won, but he's just not going to leave himself open.
Gas for weeks, Jet Varco. I mean, he's the Energizer Bunny. The battery never stops on this boy.
We're about to find out who's got what left in the tank with it. Well, let's make that the next 8 seconds are going to be.
I mean, these shots, you can hear them or feel them from here, even back in the commentary box. They certainly put it on, especially in those last 10 seconds, Brent.
Absolutely. I think Jet Varco would be very, very happy with it.
We came out like a jet.
Exactly.
Jet in the box. Varco.
Kelly, again, no disgrace whatsoever. I mean, both boxers. I'm going to put them money where my cup of tea is. I'm going to go with Jet Varco. There you go.
You like choosing these ones, don't you?
Absolutely. And as long as I don't have to judge it, so let's go and find out and ask Danny Jonas to announce the winner.
Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Another great fight by these young men. And making the presentation is Mr. Stephen Howard, Chairman of the Wellington Hutt Valley Association, Head Coach of the Wellington Hutt Valley team, 4 times New Zealand National Champion, a silver and bronze medalist at the Oceania Games, and the National Coach for the Youth Tri-Nationals. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner by split decision. And the New Zealand champion for 2021, fighting out of the red corner, Jet Varco.
There you have it. I mean, he came out like a jet and he took it home like a champ. What a winner. Here he is, Jet Varco. And you heard it too from the speech inside the rounds.
Yeah, I felt that Jet had it made, but that first round was a lot closer than we thought. Nice gesture too from young Jet.
Kalai certainly took it forward in that last one.
So we head up in slight weight division coming up. So this is the junior men's 57 kg. So we'll head back down to our fantastic ring announcer, Danny Jonas, to introduce the boxers.
Ladies and gentlemen, we move on to bout number 7, the junior male, 57 kg, 3 2-minute rounds. Introducing first from Te Toki o Maui, fighting out of the red corner, Connor Campbell. And Connor's opponent from Masterton, fighting out of the blue corner, Austin Butler.
Young Austin is out of Masterton, and Connor is out of Nookie's gym in Taupo, a name very famous in Taupo with boxing terms, but now coached by Pal Marshall. Both these boys weighing in at 57. Similar in height, or maybe Connor's got a slight advantage. He's just fraction under 6 foot. He'd like to be 6 foot, but he hasn't quite made it. His opponent's 5'6" on a good day. Some of the information we get sent by these young boxers is actually, we can't read it.
I'm almost a little confused because I'm 5'6", on a great day, and then 6 foot I wish is actually what I want as well. So I'm loving what we see here too. And the nickname's Connor, the Unstoppable. Austin Butler, the Heartbreak Kid. I mean, he doesn't look 5'6", the Heartbreak Kid.
Well, actually, when you look and turn around and look at the ring, you know, they're both sturdy-looking lads.
57, they're certainly all 57 of that ring and wet. Once again, you know, they're starting off explosive. This is for the accolades. Who wants this more?
Both orthodox in their style.
Connor Campbell, you know, got that name Unstoppable. Let's see if he lives up to that. I mean, beautiful sharp left hook there. Quick, just trying to get out the shot range there on Austin Butler. The Heartbreak Kid is going to break a heart tonight, or a head. So quick, both moving on the same angles. You know, this is a bit of an explosive fill-out round for round number 1. Low guard there too from Connor Campbell, but as I said earlier, sometimes these guards are low because they have the confidence and speed to be able to flick shots. Either that or they're just very risky and may get touched up.
Well, Connor's had a couple of good wins with the Golden Gloves back in 2018, 19, 20 and 21. New Zealand national champs in 20 and 21 as well.
You see that too?
You can't say 21 yet. We'll see.
21, 22. I mean, look at the way he's moving forward now. That confidence, you know, just chasing. Guard low, throwing power shots, twisting, turning. He's just throwing the Heartbreak Kid around.
He's been given a bit of a warning by a referee saying, no.
Back on the end of it. Put him on the end.
So swinging on the punches.
Got caught a bit off guard there too as he got a little bit too confident. Austin Butler said, I'm not going to let you get away with that too early. He gave him a nice shot of his own.
Both very similar. Both had around 20, 23 bouts. Young Austin had the silver in Nationals and a silver in the Golden Gloves, so you can see Austin Butler in blue is really looking forward probably to a national title.
I mean, just watching that round again, I mean, we're going to go to the highlights. It's going to, like I said, choose any snippet from it. I mean, it was action-packed from the get-go. Big shots here, there from Connor. Just the quicker of the two. Loads up, throws a jab, and then a 1-2, and a 1-2 again, left hook, right hook. It's like he's on a springboard of every single shot. Some fighters will take, they'll reset after the combo. He throws a combo and then launches into another.
Hold on the pressure. What you wanted to do can happen. Okay? But you put him at long, reach first. Okay?
Deep breath,
all right?
deep breath.
Okay, let's
stay there and hold it. Make it look messy if you need to, but you need to stay there. But we need to win that next round.
So the seconds have been told to go out. It's great getting, and thanks to our production team for giving us another insight to what's happening closer to the ring with those seconds.
Well, you learn a bit of insight to what's going on in the mindset of the coaches, where they're at confidence-wise, and, Austin Butler's coach said make it messy if you need be. You've got to win this next round because it can become a bit of an uphill battle if you lose those first two. You've literally got to stop them in the third or put them out. And based on that, you could say that your red corner is up in the first round, and Austin Butler, the heartbreak kid, really needs to take this round away to bring it back up on even scores.
Well, I do know Powell Marshall a little bit because, of course, fortunately, I live in Tupelo, so seen a number of his young boxers coming through, particularly at the Golden Gloves.
Well, you know, too, it's a goal for Connor to represent the Com Games, and we do have selectors, or a selector here, so, you know, you
four. We actually have the 4 selectors who are going to be sorting out who potentially is going to be nominated. Of course, it's got to be funded, and Connor just connected nicely with a right just as I was explaining what's going to happen. So the selection panel, they're here in force because there's not long to go.
Big shots here, there from Austin. He's certainly listening to the corner. But that's rightly said, Brett. This is probably why they're putting on such explosive performances. Yes, we've been in lockdown. Secondly, there's 4 selectors here for the Com Games. 3, it's been all on Sky Sport 3 and Next, so why wouldn't you be performing?
Unfortunately, too, they may not be selected, but the selectors themselves will be turning around and saying, hey, there's somebody I want to keep my eye on for the next, you know, be it the next Nationals, which will be in October, all going well. Or they might go into a Golden Glove somewhere, and these selectors will be saying, hey, that's a kid we need to keep our eye on.
Oh, 100%. I mean, if, like you said, if someone isn't chosen tonight, they'll be certainly on a watch list. They'll go into the little black book of 1 to look out for in the future. And, you know, it's like playing rugby. If the All Black selector rocked up, you'd certainly be trying to do some, you know,
absolutely,
put some scores on doors, get those tries, perform as best you can.
And just let them feel your right hand, okay? You've already two rounds up, okay? All right? You don't have to, like, put willy-nilly silly pressure. Okay?
Let's do it again. Hey, take it. One more round. Stop looking at that. One more round. Yours. Knocking that in your hand. I think
so the seconds are up.
That's as real as it gets, right?
Yeah.
You're 2 rounds up. Whether you believe that or not, whether you're watching at home and think that's true, and then you saw a bit of a slap there in the blue corner. Just not letting him get distracted between rounds.
Yeah, stay focused. You've got 2 minutes to prove yourself now, so just concentrate on doing that.
I should say a tap, not a slap. It wasn't a tap. Pat.
He got hit harder in the ring.
Well, this ain't tiddlywinks, as they say. And look, looking at this, I mean, it does seem like this is the first round. Basically, whoever takes this round may take it home, because the ones watching down there on ringside, 5 judges, are seeing a completely different fight to what we're seeing on screen.
So just a break for the mouthguard to be washed out and returned. Referee ensuring that everything is safe. Big Austin came out, connected quite nicely on a couple of this. This is again round number 3, make or break for the national title.
Certainly seemed like it, but every single bout we've seen this afternoon and evening is make or break. You know, you've got the selectors here. It is live on TV to the world, and they get to go home with the title. I mean, what more could you want from in a tournament? Nice shots, heavy shots there from the heartbreak kid, Austin Butler in blue. Inside, both throwing at the same time, uppercuts. We're just letting rip.
Bit of a slugfest coming up in the final 30 seconds of round number 3.
You know, this is every single national champs is exciting, entertaining, but this is one of the most exciting, explosive ones I've seen to date, Brent. I mean, they're throwing it all out there. But once again, Connor Campbell, he's like a springboard as he comes forward with those combos. Fainting as he throws again. We've got 10 seconds.
Yeah, time was just added on while the mouth guard was actually being cleaned up.
That shot in the corner.
couple of punches from Connor.
What a he's been giving a good hard tap there to finish the round. What a performance. I mean, he never took his foot off the gas. He was a complete firework from the get-go.
Yeah, well, young Austin was, being put on the back foot for a little bit. Connor using not only his weight, but also the punches that were coming behind it.
Just go see
there.
The speed too of Austin. He got out of the way of those. I mean, doing a fantastic job even getting it out of the way of that springboard style from Connor Campbell. I mean, he goes by the name Unstoppable. He looked unstoppable there tonight. Looked like he'll run for a brick wall.
Yeah, so as we get ready for the announcement. So we'll head down to Danny Jonas for the announcement.
Making the next presentation is Mr. Billy Meehan, 9 times New Zealand featherweight champion, New Zealand record for the most titles in one weight division, past Jamison belt holder, past silver medalist Commonwealth champs, president of the New Zealand Boxing Coaches Association, a life member of the New Zealand Boxers Association, Boxing New Zealand head coach, and an IVA Star 3 coach. Welcome, Billy. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner by unanimous decision, and the champion for 2021, fighting out of the red corner, Connor Campbell.
There you have it, Connor Campbell. What a performance. Living up to the name Unstoppable. Took it home tonight. What a win.
Yep. Felt that he had it in that second round. He seemed to just sort of come that little bit further on, and then we got into the round 3. But again, unless you sort of see the scorecard, what do we got? Yeah, it was unanimous. You can see the scores down there by each one of the judges. I got a funny feeling in my... I just turned myself around a little bit and seen all the boys and girls from Canterbury getting ready to make a little bit of noise for their boxer who's coming up next. So without further ado, let's head back down and ask Danny if he would mind introducing us to the next one, which is junior male 60 kg.
Officials and boxers to ringside, please. Ladies and gentlemen, we move on to bout number 8, the junior male 60 kg, 3 2-minute rounds. Introducing first from Auckland, fighting out of the red corner, Omid Azizi. And his opponent from Canterbury, fighting out of the blue corner, Edward Richards.
And you sure you know you've got Canterbury in the house.
Look out, put the earplugs in, cool noise control. The Canterbury supporters are here.
We've got Edward Richards, who's out of the Canterbury Boxing Association, the Wollaston Boxing Club, up against Omid Azizi, Peach Boxing, representing Auckland. This is going to be interesting. Both boxers had a fair number of bouts. Edwards had 30, Omid 40, but he's got 2 national titles, 3 golden gloves and 3 Auckland champs. And Edward, of course, fortunate South Island golden gloves and a New Zealand golden gloves to his name, so this should be a pretty even match.
If you're at home, don't you dare go away. Don't make popcorn, don't grab a drink. Sit down, because this is going to be an absolute barn burner. Omid Azizi, next gen. He is a 3-time champ, Auckland champ. 3-time golden glove, 2-time national champ, as you said. Is he going to make it 4 tonight? I mean, look at this. Coming forward, no feeling out process. They're just throwing straight forward. I've seen about 20 punches both sides. Hard to believe this is only 90 seconds. Sorry, 2 minutes.
Yeah, just noticing too. The way that the speed in which Omid is going for it, Edward's got to be careful. Just noticing him starting to play with his headgear, so that mop of hair he's got underneath it is starting to sort of drop down.
As I said too, blink and you miss. I mean, these two fighters have started off very explosively. They want it. They want to take this home. Someone wants to be the champ.
Well, both in their bios have said their style's aggressive, and I think that's pretty accurate.
What do they say? Meet fire, fire, and they say don't fight fire, fire, but these boys are just bringing the heat. Two flamethrowers going at it. I mean, I haven't even seen, they are boxing, but I'm not seeing any filling out process here. I'm just seeing these guys meet in the middle, trying to put each other down.
Cantabrian supporters starting to make themselves known in the stadium, getting behind Edward Richards.
Almost feels like I'm at a football match over in the UK. The noise these Cantabrians are making, supporting their boy from back home.
A lovely overhand right by Omid.
Eddie B versus Next Generation. Once again, I'm glad I'm not scoring this one. I mean, it's just an entertaining bout to watch.
Tell you what, even in the commentary situation, there's so many punches being thrown, it's hard to comment on every single one, but Omid is just going like gangbusters.
I mean, Jack, the ref, the man in charge there, he's got his work cut out for him. He's going to have to jump in if need be, but I think he's enjoying the fight himself. I mean, look at Omid Azizi sprinting forward into those combos.
And you can see in that slow replay that you were just having that those were actually connecting as well, but there was just a flurry of them.
Eddie B, though, doing a great job too to throw a few back of his own, just getting out of the range of those shots.
Let's find out what they're saying in the corner.
You get what I'm saying? We need to look at energy gear. You got me? So when there's a pause, when there's walk out, I need you to relax the body, getting ready to explode again. Don't say things the whole time. Yeah? Ready?
So the seconds have been asked to get up. Just don't mind he's dropping into it and picking up a little bit.
I swear Isaac Peach could be a voiceover in a horror movie for a menacing character. The way he speaks, you have to listen, and let's see how it goes down in round two.
Isaac Peach, of course, is Omid Azizi's trainer.
Loving what I'm seeing here from Eddie B. I mean, we think that Omid Azizi has come forward now. He's getting met with shots. Pure aggression here from Eddie B. Eddie B definitely up early on the scorecards.
Both fighters similar in height, but I'll just give Eddie B or Edward Richards just a slight advantage, but not by much. So Omid has got to get in close.
Just as I said that Omid Azizi Next Gen threw a few of his own. I mean, this is absolutely wild. That meeting center ring, there's no stick and move, it's just smash and bang. This is a beautiful bout. Loading up that shot there, Omid Azizi. Is he going to throw it? Or is he fainting? Trying to play Eddie B, but beautiful movement there from Eddie B. It did it pretty much a 180 turn and threw a shot of his own.
Both connected with their jabs almost simultaneously.
I mean, this is entertaining. This, once again, I don't want to repeat it, but it's worth the door entry, the ticket price in itself. If you're watching at home on Sky Sport Next, you've got more than your money's worth. And Sky Sport 3, of course. Just listen to the crowd. Look at these boys go. Once again, what a fight to watch. What a bout to watch. We're seeing the best of the best here in New Zealand.
Remember, these fighters haven't actually been in a competition situation for, well, COVID. So it's about a year and a half. We did actually have the Nationals in Parkinson, which we managed to slip through because we were out of lockdown. And in fact, one of the only live sports actually televised which went worldwide. They've got a bit of following from all parts.
Speaking of following, I mean, the Canterbury crowd are here. Omid Azizi's got everyone watching back at home in Auckland, around the world. What a performance so far. I mean, they're living up to the expectations of what we thought this fight was going to be. I'm just loving every single second of it.
Yeah, well, Edward's only 5 years in boxing, so, you know, he's doing very well, representing Canterbury in a brilliant way.
I mean, like he said in his bio, he likes to be on the front foot. He's certainly doing that, but he's got some style, he's got some swag as he moves those angles. You know, he's meeting Omid.
biggest thing.
Yep. So these boxers are getting their final instructions for the final round number 3. And at the moment, it seems the scorecard is in favour just slightly with Omid Azizi. So Edwards coaches.
Eddie B sprinting now. He knows he needs to take this home. He needs to literally put him down or get a 10-8 to take this home. And is he going to do that? Is he got enough gas left in the tank, Brent, to take it from next gen?
Yeah, I think he has. His corner me giving good instruction, and we've listened to it a couple of times, and he's following what he's being told. Lovely step away. And as you say, it only takes that one, because with Omid coming in, connected beautifully with an overhand right, then drops back down into the body again, connects with it left hand, and again. He's getting that combination.
Beautiful shots here. I mean, he's throwing basic hook, aggressive shots here, Omid Azizi. Getting out of the way of those shots. Big shot again, nice. Deflective and evasive with those shots. As we were speaking to Athena earlier and other commentators' boxes, once you start taking a few shots, they wear out of you. It can bring down the confidence. Eddie B, though, throwing a few more of his own. Omid Azizi gritting down now, walking forward. You can just see that he wants this.
Again, he's getting those scoring shots of the head in the last 40-odd seconds. See, he's dropping it, and the guard's down.
Omid Azizi just not giving up. You know, this is why he's a 3-time Auckland champ, 3-time Golden Glove, and 2-time national champ. Potentially going to be 3rd.
Not taking anything away from the workload that Edward Richards has been performing. He's not taken a back step at all.
Omid Azizi, let's remember too, this is the 3rd fight, 10 seconds to go.
These are all finals that we're witnessing this evening on Sky Sport Next and Sky Sport 3. We're enjoying it. I'm sure you are at home if you love amateur boxing. This is absolutely stunning for the National Junior and the Cadet Championships of New Zealand Boxing for 2021.
Look at this replay, those body shots, head shots. Just straight hooks here from Omid Azizi coming forward now against Eddie B. Eddie B throwing a few body shots of his own. Big shots there too from Eddie B. Beautiful action here on display.
Yeah, I wouldn't say, well, what the heck. I'm going to have to probably go Omid, I would say. You're just not making a decision. What's going on?
I was trying not to say anything about the horror scene voiceover for Isaac Peach. As we get ready now for the decision, we're going to see the New Zealand champ.
Ladies and gentlemen, making the next presentation is Mr. Chad Milnes, past Jamison belt holder, past gold medalist at the Oceania Games, and 5 times New Zealand lightweight champion. Great fight, boys. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner by unanimous decision, and the New Zealand champion for 2021, fighting out of the red corner, Omid Azizi.
There you have it.
Hey, Omid Azizi, he is a 3-time national champ now. I mean, things come in threes. He pulled off the hat trick, and well done, what a performance. Take nothing away to the Eddie B, Canterbury fighter, Cantabrian proud. He certainly brought the heat, but this wasn't enough tonight to take it away from next gen.
So as I say, it's fast and furious. We don't have time to hang around, so we'll head straight back down to Danny Jonas to introduce us to our next competitors.
Officials and boxers to ringside, please.
As the boxers make their way to the ring. This is going to be another noisy one, I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, we move on to bout number 9, the junior male, 63 kg, 3 2-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner from Wanganui, Chili Palmer. And from Auckland, and fighting out of the blue corner, please welcome Sonny Morini.
Earlier in the day, we had a chance to talk to Chili Palmer. He's out of Wanganui, the River City Boxing Club.
Loved having up here on the hot seat. Look at the nickname too, Chili Palmer, but likes to be referred to as hot and spicy. Tall, skinny, and always ready. You got to love that hair from Chili Palmer there in the red, and Sonny Morini there in the blue.
Just getting the final instructions from our official. Both these boys weighing in at 63 kg. Isaac Peach's coaches Sonny himself. And Rob Cook and Eddie are looking after Chili Palmer. Hot and spicy.
Not sure about that height too there from Sonny.
You think he's lying?
He said 6'6", and he said his style is mean as, so not sure what's going to go down as he comes down out sprinting into the corner of the, centre of the ring. Big shots here, living up to that 6'6" name. He doesn't want to muck around, taps himself on the head, he's not here. Got to go the distance.
Yeah, these gloves, of course, the refs are making sure that they're not using the slap. It's got to be the face of the glove. Basically, if you close your fist up.
Sonny Morini coming out very aggressive, just trying to end this, not go any further rounds. You know, as they say in boxing, you don't get paid for overtime. Beautiful body shots here from Sonny Morini as he comes forward. Very low guard. I'd like to see it a bit higher. Could get clocked from the big looping shots here from Chili. You know, I wouldn't want to drop my guard here with hot and spicy, because he's tall, skinny, and always ready, like he said in his bio. And that left hook, you know, it could come out of nowhere. If you're holding a low guard, you could get touched up. Just seeing now Sonny Morini just starting to lose a little bit of steam now. He threw quite a bit of hell and leather in the first part of the round as we get close to the 30 seconds.
He's also got to be careful too. Even though he appears to be the aggressor by coming forward all the time, when he's moving forward, if you watch that left hand, it's down. And he does leave himself open as he's coming forward to get clipped with that overhand right.
Well, he might just get clipped with it if he is not careful. And he's certainly run out a bit of steam. You talked about the battery running flat earlier. You're seeing it slightly deplete. I want to see him finish as he started.
So a lot of support for our Chili Palmer, of course, being a local from Wanganui, as we are here at the Jubilee Stadium. Great venue, and well done to the organising committee for putting this together. Because, of course, it's not that long ago that we were still in red. Now we're in this, I can't work it out, orange. That, you know, we've actually got people who are able to come in and watch. The event would not have happened if we were still in any form of lockdown. So we'll head down and see what the ring is saying.
You have to go off your jab, brother. Alright? You just have to slow down a bit, bro. You're doing good, bro. But once, bro. Okay. Patience. He's a whole different game plan, bro.
He's getting some advice from down in the corner from his dad, I think. Seconds out, so we'll get ready for...
Now that is a formidable corner. Philly Mucker from Wellsford, Isaac Peach. You couldn't have two better. Look at him, he's ready. Sonny Morini, looking like he's once started a 100-metre sprint race.
Yeah, look at that.
I mean, off the mark, he could have broken some records there. He just came out, he covered about 10 metres in a second. Getting out of the way, you couldn't even touch him with those jabs there. Chili, hot and spicy, just missing with that shot. I mean, hot and spicy moves back, but still getting clipped. This is what we like to see from the quarter fighter. I mean, once again, hey, look, if they're going to fight like this out of lockdown, I wouldn't say bring on more lockdowns, but everything that was seen tonight has been absolutely wild and explosive.
But if you look at Chile then, as Sonny was moving forward, Chile almost waited for it.
Well, he waited for them there too and took a few shots. But he had the guard up. But Sonny Morini throwing enough there to put a count on Chile. I mean, if he's not showing the dominating force here, I don't know what is. I mean, Sonny's could be up on the points. Got the crowd now. Bit of ACDCP.
And what Chile will be hoping as the clock runs down, because he doesn't want to get a second standing. 8, not that it takes points away from them, but it just means that the referee is going to look at it very, very closely and turn around and say, look, this is all over. I'm not putting up with it, because as we know with boxing here in New Zealand and around the world, but boxing New Zealand are very proud of their safety record.
What we're seeing here too, we're seeing the shorter fighter walk the taller guy down. It's usually the other way around. The longer rangier fighter or boxer keeps them at bay. I mean, we're seeing the shorter boxer take it to him. Just holding back a punch there. Now as this fight gets ready to get close to the end of round 2, as we go one more round for what's been an entertaining bout so far. For those watching back home too, we hope you're enjoying the fight night here. Sonny Morini comes in now, an absolute rocket as he comes sprinting out, just always bringing the heat as he chases Chile Palmer down. Icing that name hot and spicy. What a display of boxing here from both fighters.
Firm up your stance, bro, and hold him and start flurrying back, bro. Or spin and get the fuck out of there, bro, okay? Don't just always go back, bro. You've got a nice little twist on you, bro, use it. Okay, bro? Last one.
Good job. Good. Yeah. Slow it down and tight it. Is that good thing, Danny? Yeah. Press. Okay?
As we get ready now, both cornermen, words of wisdom before the third and final, the finale. Are we going to see a sprint out again from Sonny Morini? Or is he going to come out a little bit more lazy? A bit of a, not as quick as he was in the past, but he's coming out to meet hot and spicy Chile Palmer there in the red. Sonny Morini just walks him down, coming forward now, punches and bunches. Nice tight guard as well. Holds one to the right, keeps jabbing with that left, launching those body shots as he comes forward. Beautiful aggression here now. I mean, is this enough? And the judges, for them to edge it forward, for Sonny Morini getting clipped there by Chile Palmer. Chile Palmer just holding out that jab now, trying to fend off this ferocious pace of Sonny Morini. Both boys have reached close to the end of this third round, running a little bit low on gas, but rightly so. They put on such a display. Sonny Morini comes forward again. He's bringing the mana as he comes forward now. Just ready to go. Let's say he's saying basically he's taunting Chile. Just lets us go. He's standing bang in the middle. He's thrown down under 1 minute to go. What a performance it's been so far.
Again, a national title up for both these boxers, Chile Palmer and Sonny Morini.
I mean, Sonny's just walking forward, holding the guard down sometimes, saying, bring it. Another count here from Sonny Morini on Chile.
5, 6, 7, 8.
To say it's not like in the professional bouts if you get the standing count, but he's not going to be.
I mean, is Sonny a sprinter outside of boxing? I mean, the way he keeps running in, I mean, you should have seen him come out the first, second round.
And I think even if the number of punches aren't being thrown, I think the referee's going to let this go, knowing that they're within that last 10 seconds, unless he really feels damage is going to be done. And he said no.
What a display. I mean, it was exhausting just watching that bout there, Brendan.
Yeah.
I mean, the punches, the bunches, the volume, you know, the absolute ferocity and then skill that these young men displayed was beautiful to watch.
Well, Sonny was, as I say, he seemed to be the more aggressor. He was coming forward a lot more. Let's just see how the judges feel about it, because won't be far away from getting a result. So got a number of bouts yet to go. So while we wait for that, let's head downstairs, ask Danny Jonas to provide us the details of who took out that bout.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Mr. Malcolm Nicol to make the next presentation, please. As Malcolm makes his way to the ringside, Malcolm is in his 50th year as a coach, is a life member of Boxing New Zealand, a life member of the New Zealand Boxing Coaches Association, executive member of the New Zealand Boxers Coaches Association, and a former coach of the New Zealand Development Squad. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. And the winner and the New Zealand champ for 2021, fighting out of the blue corner, Sonny Morini.
Hey, we can call him. He can call himself 6'6", because with a win like that, he took it home. And Sonny Morini, what a performance!
He boxed very well. But as I say, these are the finals, guys. So we're actually getting to witness some of the great youth talent that's coming through New Zealand boxing. If you've got an interest and you're watching at the moment, you think, oh, I've never thought about it. You can go into a gym, or you can go onto the website of New Zealand Boxing, or Boxing New Zealand, and just see what's around. You might find yourself finding somewhere that you could go and train. You don't have to get yourself to the point that you want to compete at the Nationals, but it is available to you. So we'll head back down to Danny Jonas. Danny, would you introduce us to our next two fighters, please?
We please have the officials and boxers to ringside. Ladies and gentlemen, we move on to bout number 10, the junior male, 70 kg, 3 2-minute rounds. And introducing first, fighting out of the red corner from Manawatu, Connor Anderson. And Connor's opponent, fighting out of the blue corner from Canterbury, Xavier Connolly.
Yeah, some of these young fellas need to sort of look at a tape measure. Yeah, Xavier's just described himself a height of 6'7".
That's almost Tyson Fury. He's probably looking forward to that fight on Sunday, isn't he?
He must be.
Thinking he's Tyson himself.
Both these boys weighing at 70 kg. I mean, you've got to give the Cantabrians not only their supporters but their sense of humour. But Xavier Connolly has had 6 bouts up against a little bit more experience out of Connor Anderson, who's had 18. He's also a Golden Gloves champ for 2021, New Zealand Golden Gloves as well in the same year. So he had a good year. So look out for Connor in red.
Holding his own too. Look, these boys have stepped up a bit of weight too, and you've got to love the height and the way these Cantabrians describe themselves. I mean, look at every Cantabrian that comes out, they'll do a little bit of a skip when their crew shouts out CBA. So it's just something we've seen tonight. 70 kilos, this is the final. You can see the power difference too.
Well, Xavier just put a nice little punch through and just knock Connor just back a little bit. So he's got to be careful that he doesn't think this is just because I've got the experience, it's going to be a walkover, because Xavier's got something to say about that.
At times too, Brett, sometimes some of these boxers with less description and less to say let their hands do the talking, and Connor Anderson in red certainly starting to do that now.
You've got to be careful too, Xavier in blue, because the referee, if you're not actually fighting back.
Big overhand right there from Xavier. You can certainly see too the boys are living up to that weight range, 70 kilograms, a bit more meat on the bones.
A cover brought to you by Sky Sport Next and Sky Sport 3 from the championship here in Wanganui. And the Campbell contingent are starting to get behind Xavier Connolly.
Just stopping him in his tracks too. You saw Connor Anderson walk forward, but X-Man Xavier just stopped him in his tracks. Almost planted him, or did plant him flat-footed as well. Just standing his ground, not letting Connor bully him around at all. Just lunging though there with the shot. I mean, Connor's the longer range fighter. He should start using that. He should start moving around with that jab. But Xavier's got an uncanny way of landing that hook and unleashing it as Connor walks into it. Like to see Connor maybe find a bit more distance. He's trying to make meet and greet Xavier and play him in his own game, and it would be better if he stays on the outside, uses that reach, because when he stands and bangs with Xavier X-Man, I don't know if it's going to go down too well.
Even if you've got to come back and go back into it, leave him miss with that left uppercut. So if he's throwing that left uppercut or the left hook,
Feel a bit guilty sneaking in and listening to what the corner is saying.
I don't want to say I told you so, but he is the taller, rangier fighter. He does need to use it.
Absolutely.
I mean, look, he can stand and bang with Xavier, but Xavier's got the power. It looks like he's the stronger of the two. He's got that centre of gravity, that stoutness.
And you saw that just was represented with Xavier connecting nicely with an overhead right.
But Connor, he's tough and just wants to stand and bang. He doesn't want to utilise that distance. But it could pay off. I mean, he could slowly wear him down. And he's tough as nails. I mean, you know, he's got the grit on Connor Anderson. He's got the experience. He's certainly taken to Xavier. But we did see early in a fight here, Brent, with Ina on the mic. We saw a 37 bout female fighter against a 1 with 4. The 1 with 4 still gave her a very good go. Beautiful step back left hook there from Xavier, and again. Big overhand right though from Connor. Bit of a, wouldn't say a brawl, but just a little bit more gutsy and messy this one. They're throwing. They're a bit heavier so they can plant their shots. Beautiful uppercut, rip there from Xavier.
And Connor's just starting to say to himself, hang on, I've got this extension of my jab. I'm allowing Xavier to actually get in closer. So maybe he's just step back a little bit more, but then in saying that, straight over comes a nice right overhand, connected flush.
Well, we talk about Connor utilising that reach, but Xavier's really good at closing that distance as well. He'll come forward, you know, when he does slip, he'll throw an uppercut or a body rip that is landing. So as much as Connor wants to keep that distance, whether he's trying or not, Xavier just keeps shutting him down. X-Man styles. So he keeps feinting, and he'll sometimes slip and trick.
Yep. And again, that guard drops down, leaving himself a little bit exposed with an experienced boxer. As I say, almost double the number of bouts. Connor might have had more, but he definitely knows he's in a battle at the moment.
He certainly does. I mean, look, he's just meeting and greeting, standing in the middle with Xavier when he should be using that distance. But entertainment-wise, I ain't complaining. I bet people back home aren't either.
We'll sneak down and have another sneaky listen in. Apologise for that. Yeah, well, maybe we won't for a little while. But yeah, but the corner. Yeah, but the corners are giving their final instruction because, as I say, they are competing for a national title, and both of these boys will both be wanting it.
That's right, the third and final, the money round, as they say, and I'm loving what I'm seeing from both fighters here. Heart, grit, they're putting it all on the line here to take home the title.
So this is the third and final round. Xavier Connolly in blue up against Connor Anderson in red. Pretty much even split.
Just met him again in the middle with a nice straight jab. Connor walked into it. Connor definitely the rangier of the two. bit of a higher work rate here from Connor in round 3.
Oh, absolutely. Timeout. Here you go, and can't see that. Looks like might be a small bit of claret.
Just clean it up now. We haven't seen too much.
Actually, no.
At all, compared to some of the Nationals and Golden Gloves have been at. I mean, I remember every second, third fight would see a bit of blood and getting them touched up. And
exactly, but no, as I say, the referees and the organisers of the event absolutely look at the safety of these young fellas and ladies. And the referee has always got the final decision, and if he's not happy, he'll say, no, think you've had enough, not happy with the way you're looking. He's taking a very close look at young Xavier Connolly.
But too, some of the contestants are having 1 to 3 fights over the weekend, and there's a lot of blood vessels in the face. It is at times much worse than what it looks, but I don't see too much here on the face here of Xavier.
Probably just out of camera, you may not have picked it up, but of course the doctor was also, it wasn't left to the referee, the doctor was called.
Big shot here from Xavier.
He probably realises that this fight could be stopped without going the distance.
And he doesn't want that. He's trying to take out kind of early before this even goes to the judge's decision.
Yeah, I think you're right, because he knows it is round 3. He's just got over a minute. And he's getting the great support from the Cantabrian contingent that have travelled up.
I mean, that first power shot almost took Connor off his feet as they're thrown down. Now, 1 minute to go. What a performance it's been so far. Both boxers putting it all on the line. Canterbury versus North Island. All the way from Mighty Manawatu Bands Boxing. Connor Anderson in the red against Xavier Connolly, X-Man, Papua Nui, Canterbury Boxing. Getting ready now, 30 seconds to go. They're both just slugging it out. This is a war right in the centre of the ring. Putting everything into this, leaving nothing for the road home.
Big swing and a miss. Both boys are just about dead on their feet.
Oh, huge shot from both boys.
Yeah. And Xavier's been clipped a couple of times.
This is a war. They'll throw him down and these bombs are landing. What a bout that was.
Apart from the kitchen sink, I think they threw everything else.
I certainly did, and I love the explosiveness, the ferocity that Xavier came back with after that almost doctor stoppage.
So that was the junior male 70 kg, Connor Anderson and Xavier Connolly. Don't forget, of course, we're back on air at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon and again at 5 o'clock, both on Sky Sport 3 and, of course, Sky Sport Next. So with the judges have handed the scorecards in, let's head down to our ring announcer, Danny Jonas.
Ladies and gentlemen, could I please call on Barry Galbraith to make the next presentation? As Barry makes his way to ringside, Barry was the 6-time New Zealand welterweight champion, a past Jamison belt holder, and represented New Zealand internationally for over 10 years. Welcome, Barry. I'm not sure about you, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm really pleased I'm on this side of the ring. That was one hell of a bout, boys. Awesome. And we do have a winner by unanimous decision. And the New Zealand champ for 2021, fighting out of the red corner, Connor Anderson.
There you have it. Connor Anderson takes away the win. Does his Manawatu proud, and also BAM's Boxing. What a win that was. What a performance. They both left it all out there.
Yeah, and Xavier Connolly is nothing to be disappointed about. I mean, he's only had 6 bouts, and of course he's now got a silver medal from the national championship, so well done him. So we're going to step up just a small amount of weight, another 5 kg, but it makes a huge difference. So we'll head back down to Danny Jonas, who's doing a splendid job as our ring announcer.
Officials and boxers to ringside, please. Bout number 11. Ladies and gentlemen, we move on to bout number 11, the junior male, 75 kg, 3 2-minute rounds. Introducing from Boxing Canterbury Metro, fighting out of the red corner, Johan Strulig. And his opponent from Auckland, fighting out of the blue corner, Ian Mcdonald Toika.
Both these young men have had a similar amount of bouts. Young Jonah is South Island Golden Gloves novice champ. Up against Ian, who's North Island Golden Gloves in both 20 and 2021. New Zealand Golden Gloves gold in 21. And he's also a 2 times Auckland champ.
Ian Top Boy there in the blue. The bullet, Johan there in the red. Once again, another stylistic matchup. We've got the shorter versus taller fighter. Let's see which one uses that to their advantage. Stepping up slightly again on weight, 75 kilograms. Only 5 from the bout before. It does make a heck of a difference. You'll soon hear the Canterbury crowd soon come out. And when asked what Johan's style was, he described himself as wacky.
Love it.
I mean, we're seeing some quirky one-liners here from the Cantabrians.
I also think some of these young fellas like having a bit of fun with us as well. Some of the stuff we definitely will be repeating on live television.
Well, I mean, look, some of them describe themselves as 6'6" when they're about 5 foot, so you always get something nice and interesting from the Canterbury boys. But Johan there in the red, Ian there in the blue, they've started off relatively measured compared to every other bout we've seen here tonight.
And of course, these are the finals in these weight divisions, which is why the certificates and medals are being handed out at the end of each bout. It's great to see the number of both competitive people, or those involved with Boxing New Zealand for all those years, are still here tonight, you know, supporting the youth.
100%. You know, the experience in this room is well into the centuries, and it's great to see. And what I'm also seeing here from Johan is his shots are powerful. They're starting to, if you watch closely, they're starting to land and do a bit of damage here and there. He threw a right to the body and threw a double right to the head. We're not seeing too many double right combos, and it's great to see. He's the bigger of the two, Johan. And being the taller ranger fighter, he's great at you know, bobbing, weaving, getting out of the way of those shots from Ian.
And good. He had that really good upper movement too. He's able to, as you say, weave away or just step back, be able to just take that half an inch. Takes enough of the weight from the body.
Beautiful to see too from the taller fighter.
We're enjoying your company at home if you're watching on Sky Sport Next or Sky Sport 3. And we're back again tomorrow. So just pencil in the 1 o'clock and again at 5 o'clock as we get into the big finals. The heavier weight divisions. And actually, we yesterday had the new weight called the Cruisers. And I think if my memory serves me right, around about 86 kg. So it's a new weight that's being brought in.
No, it's good to see. I mean, look, for many years, they've always had to fit into one of the other category. It's great to see this Cruiser. You know, opens up a new scene for people in that weight category. Ready now for round number 2. Ian Top Boy down the blue, Johan the Bullet there in the red. Canterbury crowd a little bit quieter in this bout. Maybe they've spent all their energy previous bouts, but the power here from Johan the Bullet. He's got some gunpowder behind those shots as he's living up to that name now. And you know, he'll stand back, he'll throw a few, then he'll move away. Mouthguard just came out there from Ian.
Sign of two things, really. A lot of the time it's they're needing to get more oxygen and they're not getting it through. Just again, sprints back out.
Just getting jabbed too as he comes forward.
Yeah, I think Johan's got to start using that jab because he does have that reach advantage. Not by much, but it's enough. But with the aggressiveness of young Ian coming forward, he's got to try and just control that centre.
Bit of a filler guard there too. Right hand high, left hand low. But it's working. It's working. He's not getting clocked too much considering he's a relatively unexperienced fighter compared to some that hold that guard. 7 fights, but beautiful overhand right there from the bullet. Johan.
He's got to be careful getting himself off those ropes because they say the referee will put a standing count on him.
And once again, he landed that body shot.
He did.
Sunk. You could feel it from here. He knows it too. You know, when you land a good shot on the solar plexus.
You see with that guard, he just took one. And great camera work, by the way, to our camera crew. They're doing a fantastic job. You feel like you're actually standing inside the ring.
As Ina said earlier too, we can see it and feel it from here. You're seeing something completely different ringside. You know, those body shots will be booming. They'll be echoing. And they'll be putting, a different pace on the judge's score sheet.
Young Ian in the blue, as you said, he hasn't taken a step backwards, even though he's taken a fair punishment.
Well, just as we said that, he threw about 4 hooks to the guard there of Johan, and that kind of tickled.
It's called the commentator's curse.
Nice body shot to finish. Just didn't landed slightly on the guard there. Good finish there from Johan. Big shot as he walked back through one on the counter strike. But Ian throwing a few body shots of his own.
Johan, of course, out of Canterbury from the Mid-Canterbury Boxing Club. And Ian, just looking down my notes again, Rebels.
Both great gyms. I mean, look, Johan is the South Island Golden Glove, South Island Knowles champ. But Ian as well, he's got a few titles up his sleeve. Golden Glove champ, gold medalist, or New Zealand Golden Glove champion as well. So, I mean, both boys are putting on a great display, very evenly matched. Ian there in the blue, Johan in the red. As we get ready now for the third and final. Beautiful footwork too. I mean, yes, he's still using that long range. And counter striking as he steps back, still landing. He's allowing Ian to walk forward into the punch.
Nice little combination. Starting down in the mid, then heading north. So Ian, as I say, he's still got some petrol in that tank of his, stalking Johan down.
Walking forward, you know, he's unrelenting with that pressure. Whether that's working on putting the scores on doors for him in the eyes of the judges, I wouldn't be too confident on that. However, Johan, you know, he's a force to reckon with.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him sort of standing in that corner for too long. Needs to sort of punch his way out of this. Otherwise, the referee's going to turn around and give him a standing 8. They watch for the boxers to make sure that they're not just standing there getting punished.
Just as we said that though, Ian did land a few shots flush of his own. Potentially not a pep in the step. Is Johan respecting the power here from Ian?
Some of the punches from Johan later in this bout seem to be a bit more laboured. Doesn't sort of have that strike power. But again, I'm not standing at the other end of it receiving it. So,
well, it is. We have reached the third and final. 30 seconds to go. And these guys are bigger. It takes a lot more fuel to power these engines. 75 kilos. 6 foot or close to. These shots land harder. It expends more energy. And, you know, sometimes too, the shots they throw will put most down in sparring or training, but these guys are tough as nails.
So as we say, this is the final 10 seconds of any boxing amateur bout.
What about that was, I mean, they slightly edged off there in the final, but go to the replay now. there's still a little pep in the step there from Johan as he comes forward now, deflecting those shots as Ian comes forward and throws a few of his own.
So we have a couple more to come, and also then a little bit of a highlights package of some of the previous bouts, I understand. I'll confirm that with you shortly. Just waiting for the judges, so they may be a little bit closer than what you at home are thinking. But we're about to find out as we head down and ask our ring announcer Danny Jonas to announce the winner.
I'd like to introduce, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Paul McSherry, who's going to make the next presentation. Paul has been part of boxing in New Zealand for over 50 years, member of the New Zealand Referee and Judges Association, Boxing New Zealand, conveyor of selectors, 4 times junior national champion, which included 89 wins in a row, a national record. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner by split decision. And the new Zealand champ for 2021, fighting out of the blue corner, Ian Mcdonald Toika.
What a win, what a performance. Did you hear that? 89 fights in a row and won from Paul McSherry. I mean, if that ain't experience, I don't know what is. 89 fights in a row and won.
Well, it's like with Ina. You know, she's stayed in boxing, even though she's not competitive anymore. And Paul's doing exactly the same. You know, he's giving his time freely, travels around the country. So we'll head down again and find out who our next combatants are.
Officials and boxers to the ringside, please. Moving on to the National Junior Cadet Champs for 2021. Introducing from Hawke's Bay, fighting out of the red corner, Hadley Mcdougal. And Hadley's opponent, fighting out of the blue corner from Boxing Academy Metro, please welcome Josh Tonga.
We made a comment earlier in the day, Isaac, that these in fact, all of the supporters that are here, the senior boxers who are competing tomorrow, as of not today, have all come down to actually support the juniors, which I think is fantastic across the board.
The camaraderie between, every fighter, but too, the Canterbury contingent is 100% strong, and it shows here tonight.
Yeah, well, they made a huge effort to get themselves up from Christchurch.
And they're making an effort with the noise here tonight too. I mean, they almost broke the railing and the roof off this place here tonight.
So if you joined us earlier in the commentary, you would have seen or heard our interview with Inya Schuster. She's in control of this bout. This is the junior men's 80 kg. Hadley Mcdougal up against Josh Tonga.
Stepping up again in weight, up to 80 kg or 80 kilograms. But they're all part of it too. They're no slouches. They are lean, mean machines at 80 kilograms. Hadley there in the red.
It's quite interesting too Josh when you look at it, Isaac, when you get these these guys move up in weight. They're a little bit more circumspect getting into the ring, into the bout itself, as opposed to these lighter weight guys. I mean, they literally just launch themselves into the middle of the ring.
Well, they've got that gas to burn, and we were talking about the size of the engine before. I mean, the power behind these shots. I mean, one hit can change it all. There's so much more weight behind the shots, and these guys are lean. They're huge. The big 80 kilogram guys in one shot can change it all, whereas with the lighter guys, the jockeys, they can throw so many punches and bunches, and literally won't knock one down or floor them, but with these guys, one shot can change it all.
Well, young Hadley Mcdougal has had 2 Golden Gloves, 2 Hawke's Bay titles and 1 national. And Josh is not going to be outdone either. He has 2 Australian Golden Gloves and New Zealand Golden Gloves, as well as the nationals in 2020. So both similar in numbers of fights. Josh has had 25 and Hadley 20.
Josh too from A-Town Boxing, very well-known boxing gym in Christchurch. There's a couple. There's Woolston, there's A-Town, there's Papanui. And, you know, it's just within those top 3. One of those formidable gyms that everyone knows about. And I'm sure there's a lot of people watching back home tonight in A-Town, Aranui. Ten seconds to go now. Like you said, you know, a little bit more measured, a little more circumspect. However, one shot can change it all. So they're probably being cautious. Because as we've seen too with these heavier guys, the likes of David Tua, who just got inducted to the Hall of Fame, who we did have on here in the past.
We had the pleasure of him joining us in Porirua.
You know, you wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of one of those shots.
No. But interesting, you know, we were talking about what these boxers do for training and the likes. I was just reading on Hadley's bio that he also plays basketball and is ranked 9th in New Zealand in under 18 high jump. So that'll give you some indication that he is a reasonably tall lad at 1.9.
Well, that's the thing. They have boxing, but they also have other interest, hobbies, skills outside of this. And that's why we have these bios and we tell the audience that back home what they're getting up to, because you can often be quite surprised of what they get up to outside of boxing.
Discipline of actually getting down to the gym and training. Trying to fit in, I think, Josh is at Christchurch Boys High School.
Well, that's the wild thing. A lot of these you know, contestants, female, male, are still in school. So they're having to go to school, they're having to study, have a social life, and then train for the Golden Gloves. That's live on TV, Sky Sport 3. The Commonwealth Games selectors are here. And they get to go home with a medal or a strap to say they're New Zealand champ.
Exactly, and as I say, these are the national junior and cadet champs for this part of the program. Tomorrow we move up in the division, different weight divisions.
Both measured, both still filling out. We wouldn't mind seeing a bit more pep in the step, but big shots, big boys, you know, one shot can change it all. Once again, you know, when the pace is like this, it's hard again to score. You know, watching both fighters throw down, we're seeing the man in blue, Josh, throwing a little bit more, but Hadley meeting him in the middle of the ring as well. One minute down in round 2.
These boys have, as I say, very similar in weight, very similar in height. And as you say, one drop of that guard can actually make the end of the round. As Josh connects really nicely with about 2, 3 overhand rights. Hadley's got to be careful.
Josh there, just rocking, coming forward now. You know, finding a home for some of those punches. These blows as he comes forward. You know, Hadley bumping him off, but not enough to hold Josh, the A-Town boxer, off. Nice feint as he comes forward now. Went higher than low.
Now, for someone who spent a bit of time in the ring, going backwards takes a little bit more energy than it is going forward.
It certainly does. And we saw that from the earlier fight at Johan. I mean, he used that beautifully. He'd step back and throw a shot and land, you know, put scores on doors. Not seeing as much as that from Hadley. Would like to. We may hear some of the coaches say that between rounds. Big shot here, there from Josh as we go to the replay. Look at that high-low, punishing him with those shots. You know, yes, Hadley is on the back foot, but he's not using that back foot or counter-punching as best as he could.
You're also a little bit that off balance as well as you're going back. You've got to be sort of conscious of where the ropes are, where you are in relation to that. So if that box is coming forward on you, you've got to have your wits about you to be able to hold through.
It's not something you train hugely for as well, to be on the back foot and throw combos. Yes, it is part of the combinations. However, you're usually trying to go forward, put scores on doors, use your ring craft, use the footwork. Some gyms do train, you know, 1-2, a combo, then off the back foot. And you can see it too here in the bouts.
Got a little bit of a highlight for you after our next bout, but I won't tell you too much about that one because you weren't here yesterday, unfortunately.
I sacrificed my health and safety, coming up the Perez.
I promised I wasn't going to raise that a second time today, but you'll open the door, I'll take it.
But I still feel safer doing that drive from Auckland to Wanganui than being in the ring tonight. I mean, look at these guys. One shot, change it all. You get ready now for the third and final. Someone's going to go home the champ. You know, the Commonwealth Games selectors here. Title's on the line. Who wants this more? The man from Christchurch, or the North Island representative Giants boxing, all the way from Hastings, Hadley.
As you say, these boys have had to do it. In fact, all of the boxers that have been competing at the Nationals this weekend have had to do it hard, but they've only been out of lockdown, not that long, so being able to get to the gym and actually work out. A few of the boys and girls, I would imagine, have had a punching bag set up in the garage. The car's been moved out or borrowed somebody's workshop somewhere.
Well, as Ryan Henry said earlier, all they had to do is punch the bag and go running. They actually haven't been able to hit people. And this is what they're getting to do tonight. We're certainly seeing that with some of the bouts. This bout here, a little bit more measured, but they're bigger boys.
As I say, but wait, there's more. We're heading up 20 kg in our next bout.
Looking forward to that. I mean, you thought these boys are big. We're going up another 20 kilos for the final fight of tonight. 30 seconds to go.
I think Josh Tonga has really just stayed on that front foot and hasn't taken a step backwards for quite some time. And as I say, athlete, although not being outboxed, is having to sort of be a little bit more circumspect about where he is in relation to that ring.
Just throwing a massive left hook there now as the 10-second clapper went. End of round 3. Not even going to try and call this one. Might leave that in the watchful eye of our host, Brent.
I'm going to go blue. I think Josh Tonga did exceptionally well, particularly round 3. He just seemed to be sort of getting his combinations right. Just stepped it up that half a click.
So clean, so skillful as he walked forward of, every single shot we saw here tonight at the New Zealand Amateur Boxing Champs.
So as that happens, we know that the result is in, so we'll head straight down to Danny Jonas to give us the results.
Please welcome to ringside to make the next presentation, Mr. Ian Law. Ian has over 45 years been supporting boxing in New Zealand, was a past manager of national teams, past referee and judge, and a life member of Boxing New Zealand. Welcome, Ian. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a decision. The winner by unanimous decision, fighting out of the blue corner, Josh Tonga.
You are on a roll. I'm taking you to the Lotto store after this, Brent. Josh Tonga takes away the title, represents a town. They'll be happy back home in Christchurch.
Absolutely.
What a win. He's put that division on notice. I mean, 80 kilograms. He's a force to reckon with. And what a performance.
And these boys are 18. I mean, they've still got a bit of weight to put on themselves and muscle up and the likes.
Well, look at the heavyweights of the world, the Tysons, the Joseph Parkers, they, mid-30s before they really kind of reach their prime in that division. If he's only 18, he's got a few years.
Absolutely. So we've got one more bout and then a little surprise for our viewers at home on Sky Sport Next and Sky Sport. So we'll get the announcement from Danny Jonas.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now move on to the round bout number 13, the final bout of this evening's session. It is the junior male 100 kg, 3 2-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner from Taranaki, Phoenix Shaw. And Phoenix opponent fighting out of the blue corner from South Auckland, please welcome Louis TULPHA.
Well, for all those watching back at home, once again, don't you dare go away. These boys are big, well over 100 kilograms. This may or not go the distance.
Well, both boys have 7 and 8 respectively, with Phoenix is 7 and Louis with 8 bouts to their name, so it's very, very even. So when that bell goes, they might have a small measure up, but I saw the boys yesterday with the cruiserweight. They came sprinting out as well.
Well, Phoenix Shaw, from Waitara Taranaki, when asked titles, none, ... yet. Loving the confidence. Heavyweight fighter, wow, 98 kilograms, too shy of 100. He's there in the red against his opponent, Louis TULPHA. Silent but deadly.
So if you're a follower of sport, you must be because you're watching it, Phoenix Shaw, his dad was a former basketball player. In fact, he played for the Tall Blacks.
Well, he would be one of the fighters tonight that actually his height matches his description in terms of, what he's put down there. 6'4". He does look all 6'4" against Louis TULPHA there, standing around 1'8", a little bit shorter, but he'll make up for that in power.
If he starts getting in that crouch position, a lot of that power is going to come from that hip region.
Just as we, you talk about the hip region and power, I'm not liking what I see there from the guard, not the guard, sorry, the headgear. Phoenix probably needs to come up a little bit.
Yeah, it's dropped down. As soon as he starts playing with it, he leaves himself in sort of almost like a blind spot, isn't it?
And any division, you don't want your headgear to be interfering with division, but heavyweights.
You can see Louis, his eyes focused on those body shots at the moment, just waiting for that guard to drop down with Phoenix, especially that left, so he can throw that massive right-hand bomb over the top.
Yeah, speaking of bombs too, you expect the pace to be a little bit slower, but as you just alluded to, Brett, if one of those bombs does land, it will be night-night. Even the crowd, a little bit silent anticipation because they know it can all end with one shot here tonight. Nice jabs there from Louis there in the blue.
Even though these guys are the junior male 100, they are still only two-minute rounds.
Good to see Louis coming forward now. Just want to see that headgear come up a bit more there on Phoenix. Hopefully they can fix that in between rounds. That nice speedy jab there from Phoenix. Closing out the round here for round number 1. Junior final. Quite a measured round, bit of a feel-out process, but rightly so. Both boys coming in quite heavy. Nice shots here as Louis comes forward on the inside. Nice feint, just getting out of the way of those jabs. Nice movement. We talked about David Tua, seeing a little bit of a David Tua-esque, that style, being the shorter fighter of the two.
Yeah, well, as we said when we were in Rotorua for the Nationals and some months and months ago, David made himself available and he's set himself up his own gym and training area. He said he didn't really want to go back into boxing, but his nephew talked him into it, he said. I felt like saying, somebody talked you into doing something, David.
Well, how good was it too to have him in Taupo? The hardest thing was actually getting him over to come and commentate because he was talking to pretty much everyone in the room that evening. He's just such a humble but dangerous human.
Yeah. Didn't you know a young man who's going to be looking forward to watching at the Commonwealth Games? David Nakia.
Yeah, it's always good to have him in the house as well, and that's what a lot of these contestants aspire to, is moving on to the Commonwealths, the Olympics, then pro, because that's where, if you want to truly make it in the boxing world, that's how you get there, and it all starts here. David Tua started on these, the Joseph Parkers, the Dave Nakers. Second round now. Crowd in anticipation, because one shot can change it all. Nice overhand right there from Phoenix. Just jabbing out now as Louis comes forward.
A couple of nice body shots, ripping into that midriff.
Nice tight guard too here from Louis. You know, he's not dropping the guard. Beautiful overhand right, in and out. Just stalking Phoenix as he comes forward. Doing a great job too to keep out those shots and then throw a left hook of his own. Another one. He's got that power and you can hear it when he comes forward. Just walking him down. Speed too, you know, he's quick for a heavy. He'll come forward with that right. There's a right jab to the body. Almost thought he was going to throw the left at the same time. He's quick. Looking like Phoenix too doesn't want to bar
I was going to say,
as he walks back.
A couple of those body shots ripped into it, as you see Louis doing it again, working on that midriff.
That's a beautiful thing to see. You know, if they're holding that guard high, attack the body. They're holding it low, attack the head. And this is Louis doing a perfect job of it. You know, he's hitting it high. He'll go up into the guard, you know, cower or hold that guard high, and then we just go straight to the breadbasket.
It's almost a very good example of explaining it to him, you know, for those that are watching at the moment. If you're just tuning in and following it, it's sometimes always expected that the taller man is going to actually have the advantage over a shorter man. But if a short boxer, shorter of the two, works it out quick enough that he can get in close, stay there, and not allow that extra reach, would be at 2 or 4 inches, it doesn't really matter. But you'll sort of get an example here. He works onto that middle part. Boom. That was your replay of that right hand jab straight to the midriff.
The shorter fighter has to make up for it. They have to get in the pocket. They have to be speedy. They have to go low. In most cases, the taller fighter will use that reach advantage. But at times, if the shorter fighter's a little bit quicker, he'll do the damage, just as he is in this fight. About as we should say. And the crowd watching on, it's been a very exciting day with the Commonwealth selectors here. Medals, national titles on the line, obviously Sky Sport Next and Sky Sport 3. What a weekend we've got ahead.
Full day tomorrow, of course, kicking off at 1 o'clock and with our live coverage. And then we'll be back again, of course, at 5 o'clock. But it's not over yet. We haven't finished, so stay where you are.
The third and final for all those two watching back at home, whether you're in Auckland. Big shout out to Louis' South Auckland crew watching this bout tonight. He's doing them proud. Tongan proud as well as he comes forward. Beautiful speed, right overhand there, landing right on the button.
Yeah, you got a feeling he's sniffing a victory here if he can just stay composed. Don't try and do anything silly.
Looking for how he comes forward now with that power. Absolutely looking dangerous.
Old Phoenix Shaw's having to use a lot of energy trying to stay away from some of these big punches because he's taken a fair whack to the midsection of his body.
He's done a great job too, though, being very consistent with those jabs, throwing out those shots, being busy, trying to keep Louis at bay. But Louis got such a formidable style that he'll make it hard for any tall fighter, and he always will be facing taller fighters in this weight range. Big shots here from Louis as he walks forward now. 1 minute down, 1 minute to go for the junior title.
We have to easily be 50 odd metres away from these boxers directly with headsets on, and we can still hear these punches coming through.
Big shots here from Louis as he comes forward now. Just punishing those right. I mean, even though some of those shots land on the guard and on the arm, they still hurt. They still take it out of you. Just remember too, when you get punched in the arm, over 20, 30, 50 times, it does make your shots harder to throw. Beautiful movement here too from Louis. Very light on the feet. Just getting out of the way of those shots there from Phoenix.
So they get the final 10 seconds. Get ready to sort out who is the champion. Phoenix sort of saying, well, okay, I might have a chance here, but saved by the bell to some degree.
Oh, look, the way these guys threw him forward, I wouldn't mind seeing a few more. What about that was? Those watching back home, what a performance. We are almost reaching the end of the night, and what an afternoon and evening of fights it's been on Sky Sport Next, Sky 3. We get ready soon for the judges' decision. What are your thoughts, though, Brent? Who do you think pulled this one out the bag?
I am having to say that I'm going to go with blue with Louis. I think he took it away. But we're about to find out. Let's jump down to Danny Jonas to announce the winner as we go from there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to make our final presentation for the evening. I'd like to call to ringside Keith Walker to make the presentation. Keith is chairman of the Boxing New Zealand, life member of the New Zealand Referee and Judges Association, life member of Boxing New Zealand, life member of Waikato Boxing Association, past president of the Oceania Boxing Association, supervisor of the 2021 New Zealand National Champs, and Keith represented New Zealand at 6 Olympic Games in various officiating positions. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a decision, and the winner by unanimous decision, fighting out of the blue corner, Louis TULPHA.
There you have it. Well done to Louis. Congratulations to him and his gym. He's the junior New Zealand champ, and what a win that was.
They're getting presented by Keith with the certificate and the medal to say that you are the champion for 2021. Keith's a lovely man. He's, in fact, boxing is a family fraternity, isn't it? It really is amazing.
As you said, they put on work endless hours in the sport.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to give you a little highlight package of something that happened yesterday, and this is the super heavyweight that happened yesterday. So we're about to bring that to you and enjoy it on Sky Sport Next and Sky Sport 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the final bout of this evening. A super heavyweight, 3 minute rounds. Introducing in the red corner, Roma Kreitzen. And fighting out of the blue corner, Ulia Mo.
Now these are the big boys.
Yep.
Leo is out of the Shamrock Boxing.
Yeah, Blue's an experienced boy earlier, and he's been international. He's done quite a bit, so this will be interesting if Roma can keep on the pace.
Yeah, and we're not able to. I'm sorry, I can't give you. Roma's had 10 bouts, but we've got nothing.
Earlier's had plenty.
No, and both, I say, big units. Slight weight difference. We got one at 101. That's Rowan. And you'll hear these punches from a mile away.
Yeah, Roma will have a go. Earlier can hit. That's one thing, he can hit. Whether his conditions spot on, we'll find out.
So Terence Reid is in the blue corner along with Jen Pillay in red.
Terence Reid, bachelor. Yep, Earl's nickname is Wheels. Wheels just put one on the nose in. Roma, he will put up a fight.
He doesn't look it though, but earlier comes in at 92 kg. Roma is at 101, so there is it doesn't look it on screen, but there's a slight different weight.
I think Ulia's weight.
You think he's lying? Do you think he might be telling a fib?
Well, the scales are lying.
Yeah, I think he's just coming in at exactly 92 to make himself feel good.
There's not a one missing there, is there? But he's a big, strong boy. Big, strong boy. pushing, just shoving, pushing off. Not done. Ref will give him a tickle up.
Yuli is also part of the Royal New Zealand Infantry Regiment.
And then that's hard on earlier. He's got a lot of things he's tied up in with the army and that, and wild manoeuvres and that. So it's not that easy for him to get the time out to do these sort of things, with the competition and that. But all credit to him for being here. And he is possibly one of our Olympic hopefuls. Commonwealth Game hopefuls.
He's, to say, both these boys are solid. He probably pushes a tank up around Waihuru for training, just for fun.
Quite possibly. But Roman's not backing off. Roman's, he's there to make a meal of it. He's going to get in there.
So we're looking at the highlights package brought to you by Sky Sport Next. Again, these punches that when they hit it, you can sort of almost feel it up here in the commentary.
Oh yeah.
So you're with us at the moment with Sky Sport Next. We will be back tomorrow and starting off at 1 o'clock. And that's that'll be session number, it must be 4. And then we'll be back again at 5 o'clock for the second session. And we'll be repeating that again on Saturday as well. So you've got plenty of live action on Sky Sport Next. And it'll also be showing on Sky Sport 3 tomorrow. And I'll be joined by a number of guest commentary. And young Isaac Savage will be flying in. So a voice and a name familiar in boxing, particularly in the Auckland region. So he's just flowing down here to Wanganui. He might have had to go to Palmerston and drive up, I'm not sure. But he will be here. And we'll be bringing you some absolutely spectacular boxing as we move through into the finals.
Probably not the flashiest of bouts that Earl has had, but hopefully he can put things together a bit.
Roman Crichton is out of the art of boxing in Auckland. So these boxers have probably met at different times.
Yeah, Rome has nowhere near the experience of Julia, but he's not backing off on us. He's getting in and having a crack.
With the heavy and the big boys, these super heavyweights, everyone sort of feels it's just a brawl, but actually they are still talented boxers. They've thrown their combinations, they're working themselves out. They do work the bodies hard.
Yeah, they'll see lovely body shots. It's not always easy to throw a body shot. You're exposing your chin. You've got to dip down over towards the body if you're throwing the left or whatever. So you're exposed, and so it's an art to it. And of course that body shot's equal to a head shot. There's no difference in points or scoring. So you might find that Roma, he could be just piling up a few points in this one.
Just took the chin on that uppercut from Roma. Really is using that body mass to just really lean on Roma, isn't he? He's really putting
and that's hard
to time out.
That's hard holding up a big guy, that's hard.
Leaning on him and saying,
He's putting his weight down on your legs, you know, and you got to hold this big guy up, and you're thinking, I'm sick of this.
You see the highlights package brought to you by Sky Sport Next. These are the super heavyweights. These are 92 kg plus boxes. And I know I'm probably repeating myself, but just to keep you informed, 1 o'clock tomorrow, make sure you tune back into Sky Sport Next. 1 o'clock and again at 5 o'clock. And then again that is repeated on Saturday. And if the weather is conducive, you can just put off doing the lawns or anything else that goes on those famous things called a list of things to do. Don't. Follow the sport because it helps support boxing as well. So this is the third and final round of our last bout of this evening. And I'm definitely not even going to call this one.
It's close. It's very close.
Nice left to the chin by Julia. Julia is just using that mass body weight that he's got just to lean in on him.
Yeah, the problem is he hasn't really stamped his mark on this, you know, and that's where Roma, he's still in with a chance. And those body shots are scoring. They're scoring.
Before I forget, Julia's said he'd like to send a shout out to his mum and dad. So hi mum, hi dad. Just on that 2-minute mark to go, this is make or break for both these boxers. It's great to see the crowds, if they're not supporting one of their own boxers, that they'll get in and just, you know,
they appreciate what they're seeing.
What they're watching with these two big super heavyweight boys.
A lot of them know how hard it is.
Oh, a nice little uppercut by Julia. As they say, Ratna took it on the chin. And he's now following back with a couple of nice body shots too.
Yeah, that's 3 scoring punches there. There's another scoring punch.
And again, but that Ratna seemed to get a good connection on that. It rocked him back a little bit. He's got to be careful with just 50 odd seconds to go.
Both boys breathing hard.
Just swing and a miss on that, and he's got to deal with it. 100 plus kg throwing you up on the rope. Referee saying, come on boys, it's been good up till now, let's not ruin it. Just keep it going as we get into the last 20 seconds of this third and final round of the super heavyweight class. Both these, he walked into one there with 10 seconds to go.
Oh, good shot too. Well, they both know they've been in a pretty torrid bout.
A couple of massive lows, and as I say, the body shots that were being worked on, it's unbelievable that they both stood. I thought at that point one of them was going to go.
Well, they connected, didn't they? And their feet were flat on the floor when they did it. Boom.
So as we say, tomorrow, 1 o'clock, we're back on, and again at 5 o'clock. So if you missed the earlier session, 5 o'clock, go home, make yourself a cup of tea. So let's go down to our ring announcer for the last time, Danny Jonas, and let us know who took out the super heavyweight title.
Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for these two big fellas. Man, what a fight. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision, fighting out of the red corner, Roma Crichton.
Roma Crichton taking up the super heavyweight. For this bout, of course, he'll be heading through to the finals.
Well, there you go. Just goes to show that if you put the work rate in and those body shots counted, made a difference.
Makes a huge difference. Well, Steve, it's been a fun session number 3 here at the Jubilee Stadium here in Wanganui. All back again tomorrow, bright and shiny armour and ready to do it.
Yeah, hopefully I'll sleep tonight, but I get the lucky job. I can float around a bit, but I get yelled at mostly, so that's the problem. No real job, but lots of flack.
Well, on behalf of the organising committee here at the Jubilee Stadium Whanganui and our ring announcer Danny Jonas, on behalf of Steve Hartley, myself, Brent Perry and the Sky Sport Next team, thanks very much. We'll catch you tomorrow.